I'm ingesting. Unless you want to ingest.
Like, push it live?
I'm pushing it. Did it switch for you? You want to walk and talk with me? We're going live right now.
Oh.
We're walking and talking. We're live. It is Pondering Politics. Josiah and I. What's up?
What's up, man? How are you?
I don't know where we're going. We just got pulled to go to some blue carpet, some VIP. Oh, the floor. Okay, let's do this. An explosive start to the live stream today.
So how's the day been so far?
Good. Actually, we had a problem with credentials earlier where they're like, hey, you actually can't get in today. And we were freaking the hell out. And then we had breakfast and we got in. So it's all good.
Gotcha. We just got done with an interview with Cenk Uygur.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was a good conversation to have. Here. Yeah, that was a good conversation to have. Looking
Hold
forward
his backpack and walk with him.
Who are you looking forward to talking to today? If you had your wish list, who is it?
Guide him with his backpack. My wish list, like a Mayor Pete or somebody, an AOC, that'd be really, really sick. My mic's live, sir.
Oh, yeah, okay, gotcha. Did you see Secretary Buttigieg on Fox News?
Yeah, he killed him.
Yeah, he did.
Basically,
Destroyed.
like, you pull him, yeah.
I'm just looking for our escort.
Okay.
We got all these.
Looking for an escort. Take us to the blue room.
Wait, are they the tours they're doing every 15 minutes?
Probably the temporary floor passes.
Oh, the tours that they're doing?
Good, then we'll just loiter then.
Oh, we can just hang here, right? Maybe
Well, let's start off the live stream now. Everybody's here.
Yeah.
What is up, everybody?
There's a bunch of creators like right behind
We are here with Pondering Politics.
some will pop out. I think this is a good spot to hang. Anyways,
Yeah.
to catch
Yeah.
people.
Anybody in chat know IRI? I'm really important.
What's
Pondering
up?
Politics.
Yep. On
We got
Twitch.
Mr. Beat.
Mr. Beat, hop in here.
Yeah.
You guys
Hello.
know Mr. Beat, the history professor.
Political history.
Oh gosh, they're going to associate.
Historian,
I'm
what's
Mr. Beat. I have a political history channel, a lot of president stuff, so that's what brings me here. Yeah,
You
Nice.
get recognized all over the place.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Big shot.
Big liberal audience. I want to ask you. I have some good
Liberal.
liberal. Oh, you're farther left, aren't you?
No, I just make fun of words.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, ask.
Can you hide that? Yeah. Thanks, homie. That'd be nice. We'll have to have a history chat later. We can do a live stream segment.
Who have you talked to today? Who have you interviewed?
We literally went live 3 minutes ago while we were walking over here. Oh, thanks. Essentially, we might head back to the blue carpet soon, though. I
What
can't
is
tell.
that area you were in? Why is it
That's
called what is it?
It's like the red carpet, but for liberals, so it's a blue carpet.
So people go there to be interviewed? Is that what it
it's
is?
like an interview slot time, and they slot surrogates and politicians. So, yeah.
Oh.
We actually have to head back there soon because we're talking to Michael Cohen for a bit.
Wow, that's
We'll
dope.
text you if we end up finding something about the blue carpet. Or
And
whatever.
either way, come back because we have a spot on the blue carpet for hours. So I want you guys all to pop in on the live stream.
Yeah.
I don't want to be yapping by myself. So
Yeah.
blue carpet, let's head back.
All right. We're going to hang here, I guess.
Cool. We streamed for like 7 hours without eating yesterday.
Yeah, I forgot to eat yesterday. So.
It's intense. It's fun.
Oh, we got to say hi. Jessica!
Massive fan.
My name is Josiah from Pondering. You are like mine. I'm the unofficial president of your fan club. Yeah.
You're a rock star. I'm Guy.
I'm Adam from MeidasTouch. You know MeidasTouch online? Awesome. You're so good. You're amazing.
This is Jessica Tarlov of Fox News. She is the voice of sanity on Fox. Hardest job in legacy media. It's incredible. I appreciate you guys. Are awesome. So good.
Enjoy. Have a good convention.
Yeah, thank you.
She's so good. All right, let's head back to the blue carpet. We're meeting with Michael Cohen. Let's head back. What is up, everybody? Inside the DNC, day 2. I didn't really do a proper intro because right when we went live, we got pulled off. Insider scoop, let's go. Yeah, Jessica Tarlov is like the debate sis. Like, we call people who debate a lot debate bros. I go to these Trump rallies and I debate people over and over, but she is like a debate sister. She goes on Fox News and she rolls through these people. She absolutely rolls through all of the Fox News pundits. All right, where's Cohen? We're looking for a Mr. Michael Cohen at the DNC. Also, Mark Hamill is supposed to be somewhere here. But the energy on day 2 is going to be way better than day 1. Overnight, we fixed a lot of our technical errors. A lot of them are out of our control, but we understand what zones we can visit, what zones we can't. We understand where we can push our boundaries, where we can't. We know how to fill the dead air more effectively, because before we were, oh wait, 1 second. Jordan Klepper.
You do a fantastic job.
I appreciate that, man.
You really do.
I am so sorry, man. Jordan Klepper's over there, and he's looking over here, but we'll do it later. How is everybody doing today? How is chat doing? My bad. Give me 1 second. I'm fixing this typo in the stream title. Sorry, what? How is everybody doing today? Day 2 of the DNC. I want to hear how you guys felt about President Biden's speech last night. We saw it in person, and it was beautiful. It was, in a way, in a sense, not a goodbye speech, but it feels like it's the beginning of his exit of politics, his 50 years in politics. It feels like he's winding down, and that was a speech that was meant to reflect on his history in the past 50 years, why he served so effectively, why he decided to run for president in 2020 due to the death of his son, unfortunately. And yeah, we have a lot of cool surrogates coming through. We should be talking to Michael Cohen. We should be talking to a lot of your favorite MeidasTouch creators. It is going to be amazing. Right now, we just fired up the live stream. We're walking around. We were with some of your favorite creators. Jessica Tarlov, that was really cool, no? Yeah, Jordan Klepper was right over there. We've met at a few Trump rallies, so we made eye contact, but we had to hit the blue carpet right away. We'll talk to Jordan Klepper. We'll interview him for sure. Great guy. All of your favorite people. Where, give me 1 second. I'm about to go on Do Not Disturb, and I won't look at my phone for the rest of the day. I'm not going to be checking chat all day, so give me your guys' last message right now. I most likely will not be able to check it. Jill's speech made you cry. Fix your collar. Can you fix my collar? People are mad at my collar. Thanks, man. Might have gotten messed up after security. Shower Adam of Blue Hearts. You were crying. Please talk to Mark Hamill. Please talk to Jessica Tarlov. We will. She was definitely in a rush somewhere, so we didn't want to hold her as bad etiquette, but it was nice that we introduced her. And Jessica Tarlov knows MeidasTouch, which is great. Interview RFK Jr. Is he here? Oh, Jon Stewart's here too? We'll interview Jordan Klepper for sure. He's got a crowd forming around him. Do you know how to clean your gutters? I don't know what that means, but let me keep reading chat while we're waiting. How is everybody doing? Mark Hamill? Absolutely. Unbutton your top? No, I'm keeping the top one buttoned. I'm sorry. Thank you guys for the donations. We also started a membership channel, or the membership function over the past few days in case you guys want to help support these IRL live streams, because I'm not going to lie, they do get stressful. So go find Jon Stewart. That would be great. Jon Stewart, MeidasTouch collab? That would be sick. A ton of insanely famous people walking past today, which is wild. Jordan Klepper walking past. And the blue cap on the left. Surrounded by security. Where's Cohen? Cohen's coming. Cohen's coming, then we're going. Go. Get Noah back. Yeah, let's find Noah. Find John Giles, the mayor of my city. We can do that. Colin Allred, that would be crazy. Get Noah back. We can do an extended segment with Noah. Noah was the 12-year-old. Which is amazing. But yeah, you guys are about to see all of your favorite MeidasTouch people. So proud of you, brother. Thank you guys for being here. Barack Obama. Did I see Taylor Swift walking around? Nope. Behind me is amazing? Absolutely. Do you think it's worth holding up the light when Cohen and I go live? Do you think it's worth holding up the light? No, we're good? We'll also be talking to people like David Hogg, people like Harry Sisson, who we just met earlier. Basically, everybody that we're meeting, we're going to be talking, having great conversations with. Amazing, amazing vibe on the blue carpet. Let me get Michael Cohen over here. How is everybody feeling? Jack Schlossberg, Barack Obama, that would be great. Noah was my favorite interview. We might do a day 2 of Noah. Also, we talked to Brian Tyler Cohen about doing a live stream earlier. We're setting everything up. It's very on the go. And since we're giving you guys behind the scenes, the schedules are always a mess for everybody, and it's nobody's fault. It's sort of just like very run and gun, on the go. So when we see somebody, we just have to pull them aside, which is interesting. But who is your guys' favorite speaker last night? Because we saw Dr. Joe Biden, we saw VP Harris hit the stage, and something funny is, if you guys were in my live stream, right when VP Harris hit the stage, it was unexpected. Everybody in the United Convention Center began running up the stairs. We saw hundreds of people running like it was a zombie apocalypse movie just to see VP Harris speak. It was like the World War Z movie where everybody's piling up. And we tripped, we fell, but it's all good. We've got, yeah. We're just going to walk around and do a quick lap and then come back and then hit the blue carpet. We have a few interviews lined up. A lot of media everywhere. Let's see what we can find if we can walk around. There's Mr. Beat and IRI. I think we found some gem of politicians last night. Like, there were representatives that I didn't know of from states like Virginia or delegates from Oklahoma, just people that are really into politics that we talked to that are like gems in the making. People that haven't hit the national stage. Maybe they're popular in their own state or in their own district, rightfully so. They should be popular, but it's interesting meeting these up-and-comers, these people who are still on the way up. It's awesome. And also, it's cool that we can give them a platform and support them because Meidas is all about pro-democracy. MeidasTouch focuses on building a coalition of like-minded people who can push our country forward, and giving platforms to people who are pro-democracy is all we can do. Even if you're somebody like Adam Kinzinger is one of the strongest pro-democracy voices, and we don't care that he's a Republican. We're happy that he's a Republican who is still pro-democracy, right? So we want to build this coalition of people who all appreciate the Constitution, because that's not Republicans right now. There's the Creator Lounge. Excuse me. Jessica Tarlov was really cool to see in person. Pondering Politics, definitely fanboyed. Pondering Politics loves Jessica Tarlov, and he was so excited. Find AOC. Oh, Jasmine Crockett. I forgot that Jasmine spoke. She was great last night. Loved the pro-union speech. Yep, those two dudes that, well, there were a few unions. Sean Fain gave a speech, who's the head of the UAW, the president, but then also they had a few different just union workers speaking, essentially. But the Sean Fain speech was really good. This is my favorite stream right now. I appreciate you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I know that yesterday we had some technical issues and we were still figuring everything out, but I think we've sort of streamlined it. I really do think we've streamlined this. And all that's going to happen today is we're going to have to take bathroom breaks. It's going to take 5 minutes. Water breaks. It's going to take 5 minutes. But it'll be nothing like yesterday where we just cut out because we know our limitations now. And we have more stuff scheduled as we've built connections. So we now have more stuff to fill airtime, and we're not just going to be wandering around. Yeah. Right, like we are right now. Well, right now we're kind of just like getting our bearings. Let's do one lap, hit the blue carpet. Is Adam Kinzinger there? Yeah, Adam Kinzinger is speaking on Thursday, which is the prime day. Thursday is going to be the day with the most viewers because VP Harris is speaking. It is like the prime slot. So I think it's really smart to have Kinzinger speak the same day as Harris because since it has the most eyes, you can reach this Republican coalition, this center-right Republican coalition that Adam Kinzinger is really good at reaching. And that's something that you need to win. Elections are won at the margins. And Donald Trump is not going for the margins. Donald Trump doubled down on his he doubled down on the MAGA movement by picking a terrible, terrible VP, thinking that he could get away with it. And we can't make the same mistake. We need to understand that stuff like Republicans for Harris, really important. Really important to build a coalition like that. I feel like I'm speaking loud as hell and everyone's like looking at us, but whatever. I thought I just saw the guy from Game of Thrones. I must be tweaking. Back to the blue carpet. Let's see if we can pull anyone aside for an interview. Because that tends to be the best part of these live streams is talking to people. If you think it's entertaining to talk to MAGA supporters, wait till we talk to some intelligent people for once. It feels so good to talk to people who are smart. Sorry, can we slip through here? Thank you. I believe this is my water bottle right now.
Yeah.
I know you're doing this. Do you know where the Michael Jordan statue is?
The Michael Jordan statue?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. I'm from Chicago too, but yeah.
That way.
That way in general?
I'm just looking for Media Row.
Oh, so you're looking for, yeah. I'm not sure to be honest.
Okay.
Good luck though. Back at it on the blue carpet. What's everyone doing today? How's everyone doing today? You guys working? I'm assuming. Watching the DNC? It doesn't show membership. It might take. Those interviews yesterday were awesome. Yeah. I think we really hit our stride yesterday. I mean, if you watch the live stream in its entirety, what we did last night is we went back and we made sure, or we watched the live stream to take notes on it. Basically, sorry, someone was screaming over there. Last night we got home and we rewatched the entire stream and we realized that there are way more effective ways to do everything. We streamlined everything and now we understand what we need to do, which is nice. RFK is not speaking. You guys are joking. They would not let RFK speak. That's not a good joke. Charlie is there right now debating. We look for him every single day and can't find him. This is better than the sports balls? Hell yeah. About to hit 5K watching, and it's only going to go up from there as we get some really, really cool people on stream. There's somebody back here trying to sell tickets to a concert, and she keeps acting like she found something on the ground. She said the same line 10 times. She keeps going, I just found a ticket to a really cool concert. She's trying to sell people on it. Noah was an amazing kid. Yep. Any haters in here? I don't know if inside the convention. I know outside there's like Benny Johnson. There are all these right-wing trolls. Mike Lindell was joking about shaving his mustache and coming in, but I think that was a joke. But yeah, we're avoiding any trolls. Other than Charlie Kirk, that'd be fun to talk to him. I'm gonna say I won it.
Oh my God! I just found a ticket to a Roy Orbison concert. Does anyone want it?
I'll take it.
I'm trying to give this to Tim Walls.
I knew she was gonna say no. She's done that 18 times. Why is she doing that? I fixed the typo in title, guys. I fixed the typo in the title. Adam's like a kid at Christmas. Yeah, it's really cool. Really massive place that we're in with a lot of cool setup. It's like, imagine walking around and seeing all the media personalities you watch, all of the politicians you watch, all in one place at one time. It's a pretty cool experience. The DNC 2024, and I'm super glad we were able to bring it to you guys in this fashion, because a week ago, we had different plans for the DNC. We were gonna try to sit down and pre-record interviews, but we were like, why don't we just live stream the entire event from start to finish? And I think so far it's been a success. We have a few friends of the stream coming up to chat a little bit while we're waiting for Michael Cohen to come on here. Michael Cohen and a few other politicians we have lined up. Really quickly, let's talk about day one of the DNC, Pondering Politics.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Josiah from Pondering Politics, talking about day one.
Yep.
Day one was phenomenal.
Well, first of all, you were blushing when you met Jessica Tarlov. How'd you feel?
Let me tell you, she's the hardest job in media. We're both big fans. I can't imagine what it would be like. What it would be like to do what she does, going to the belly of the beast. You know, Fox has a hostile audience to a lot of liberals and progressives, and she's outnumbered 4-1. She has a command of the facts, phenomenal person. That was a fangirl moment on my part. I was overwhelmed.
You did it well. She watches you. You knew she watched you, right? Didn't she say that before?
She did. She did. Yeah. So no, that was phenomenal. So that just made day two the day to beat. As far as day one goes, I mean, folks, it really was incredible. It went on for a while. I mean, I know they were behind schedule, but AOC delivered a bomb speech. She, Secretary Hillary Clinton. I mean, the fact that Hillary Clinton came out and got like a 3 to 4 minute standing ovation, I think if you had said that a year ago, people would have been surprised. But no, she nailed it. And then Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett had that really moving speech where she talked about the first time that she met Vice President Harris after she became elected, and she was just so overwhelmed by the enormity of the job and how challenging MAGA Republicans were, and she didn't know if she made the right decision. And for the Vice President to wipe away her tears and for her to tell that story, that was probably the standout moment. Like that's an indelible memory, because I'm a huge fan of hers, and I know you are too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. Sorry. Salty, if you want to cut the feed to Meidas, I think we're good.
Yeah.
And then let me know. So we are going to keep talking. We're going to go live on Meidas in 1 second. So
yeah.
Let's talk about Joe Biden's speech.
Yeah.
Joe Biden's, it almost felt like in a roundabout way, it was the beginning of his exit of American politics. He's been serving for a little bit over 50 years, I believe, and it feels like he's winding down. Well, it doesn't feel like it. He's not running, so he's winding down. Last night, that speech felt like the beginning of the end in a good way. It was very emotional. He laid out his history in politics. He laid out why he ran against Donald Trump because of the death of his son, despite it being incredibly hard. What were your main takeaways from his speech?
Yeah, so it is. It's almost like the prelude to President Biden's farewell address. Hopefully he will give a formal farewell address from behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office. It's the end to perhaps the most, certainly the most prolific political career in modern American history, if not all of American history. Mr. Beat, who's been with us, this guy's who is a historian, his favorite president is President Washington. It's mine too. And what's interesting is there are some overtures there with Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the sitting president of the United States. He's the most powerful man in the world. And so for him to willingly give up power and give up another shot at taking power again in the upcoming election, that is a George Washington principle, of my time is over, I'm done. It's funny when you say going through his list of accomplishments, because if he really wanted to go into detail, we'd still be here, right? Exactly, right? Because there were still things that he could have talked about but chose not to. It was a phenomenal speech, and I think for me, it was just the passion. It was also the fact that he was talking about how much he loves his country. And he even said, this was not on the teleprompter, because I keep an eye on the teleprompter where I was sitting for all of the speakers.
There were two on stage.
He had two, and then he had the one main one. One thing that the president ad-libbed was he said, I made a lot of mistakes. but I love this country. I looked at the teleprompter, it wasn't there. Imagine being the president of the United States in a contested election year, the most powerful person in the world, and having the humility to say, I've screwed up, I've made mistakes, but I love my country, I've given my best. That is a humility and a sacrifice of ambition that we would never see from a MAGA Republican like Donald Trump. And that's the stark contrast.
Yeah, I mean, even the idea that, number one, President Biden willingly gave up power, the most powerful position in the world, likely, and Donald Trump tried to entrench his power through extra legal means. I mean, the difference between these two could not be more stark, and I've been telling everybody this. I think we really need to take back the patriotic branding.
Yes.
We are the real patriots. We are the ones who appreciate the Constitution. We are the ones who should be wearing camouflage and supporting our veterans. We are the party of the vets. Donald Trump claims to be the party of the Constitution. He wants to terminate it. They claim to be the party of veterans, but they
obstruct the PACT Act. I mean, that's a big one right there. So that's one of President Biden and the Democrats' accomplishments, the PACT Act, which expanded veterans' health care. To Adam's point, that was initially a bipartisan bill, but then Senate Republicans obstructed the bill because they didn't want Biden to get another victory. So to your point, when push comes to shove, Democrats are the party of veterans. The other thing I'll say, and I'm sure you agree, being a patriot doesn't mean that you have this sense that your country is perfect. Mm-hmm. You can criticize your country. You can push for your country to make necessary changes. Your country is your home. If your home needs to be remodeled or renovated or expanded, you do it. But it doesn't mean you don't love it. And so I agree. I think that we have to say, no, MAGA Republicans, you're not the patriotic party. We are the patriotic party.
You blew my mind because I watched one of your videos, and I try to watch like one a day. I don't have
Stop
much time.
it.
No, but essentially, you were debunking. It might have been Michael Knowles who said voting for president is like marrying somebody.
Yes, and you compared it to your wife.
And you said it's more like a house. Break down that argument.
Yeah, so Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire says that Democrats don't love America because if you love something, you don't want it to change it.
Yeah.
Right, so he's like, imagine you get married and you tell your wife, I love you, but I want you to change fundamental aspects of yourself. He said that's a pathway to divorce, and I imagine it is. But you don't marry America. America is where you live. It is more analogous to a home. And when walls are crumbling in your home, there are holes in the roof, when things need to be changed in your home, no one's saying demolish it, but you make the changes you need to make. And that is an act of love. So that is, to me, the distinction between the two parties. So I completely agree with you that we need to reclaim the patriotic mantle.
You are currently watching Pondering Politics, Josiah and Adam Mockler live on the blue carpet at the 2024 DNC in Chicago. What's the energy like here on the ground?
Infectious. I mean, it really is. So, it's easy sometimes with Republican framing of issues to correlate crowd size with energy overall and victory. They're very, very good at branding, especially Trump. Trump, you assume, okay, he says, because I have big crowds, therefore I must win the election. The fact of the matter is, that's not how it works,
not predictive
but
at all.
It is nice to experience, right? So, I will say, even though that didn't mean we were going to lose the election, it doesn't mean we're going to win the election now, even though I'm much more confident. The energy is there. It is infectious. People are excited and optimistic, and I say that as a natural cynic. Adam is an optimist. Adam is always glasses half full. He's got that disarming charm and cheer about him. I'm kind of the Eeyore of the group, the older cynic, but my heart is thawing. So
interesting. Oh, was my audio was quiet? My bad. So, what I'm thinking is, with the DNC 2024, the energy on the ground is great. Again, crowds aren't always predictive of how the election turns out. We can look at 2016, 2020. Bernie Sanders had massive crowds, but Biden won. And it's funny because we can't say this, we're not supposed to talk about it, but they took us and they said, don't tell anyone that the crowds are AI. The crowds are completely AI. Please don't say it out loud. Yeah, so it was weird seeing an AI crowd in person, you know?
So Adam isn't here. I am actually speaking
We're
to
both
AI.
Yeah. So Trump was right, yeah.
No, I mean, but to your point, it is something that Trump is threatened by because that's the latest conspiracy theory, this idea that Democrats can't generate crowds. The fact of the matter is, it's always important to remember, the anti-Trump coalition, the pro-Democrat coalition, is bigger than the Trump coalition, and we're just now starting to see a fraction of the energy. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in a week.
Cool, 1 second. Let me just make sure that the stream is all good. Cool, we're going live soon with Meidas. Now, I want to let you know, or I want to ask you.
Sure.
Who are you most excited to see speak in the next 3 days?
So, for me, as a history and civics geek, there is something unique about the office of President of the United States. So even though I don't think that President Biden gave a better speech than Congresswoman Crockett or Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, there is something about seeing the most powerful person in the world, President of the United States, give a speech. And so I am looking forward to seeing President Obama speak tonight, President Clinton speak tomorrow, because those two are the finest rhetoricians and public speakers in the Democratic Party. So to me, it's huge to see these two former presidents, these titans of rhetoric, actually speak. So those are my two. Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry, I was coordinating over there on my phone real quick.
Okay, so Obama and Clinton, because they're presidents.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be sick to just see Obama walking past? I mean, that'd be so cool. Just be in the proximity of him.
Wait, AI Obama, or like you remember, because is it AI Obama or real Obama? Do we even know?
Deep fake Obama.
Yeah, deep fake Obama. Yeah. And what about you? Who are you excited to see?
We are excited to see. I think Obama will be great. I think that.
Wait, which Obama? Michelle Obama is supposed to speak, I believe.
Both of them. They're both so full of charisma. I think that also.
They've got Riz, I believe, as the kids say.
Stop. Yesterday we had the same moment with JoJo from Jers. You know her?
Yeah, I do.
We were talking, and she was like, "My son always talks about Skibbity Riz, Ohio." I was like, "Never say that again." I'd actually get serious for a second. I was like, "Do not."
Yeah. So one of the recurring things is that since Adam and I became friends, he constantly teaches me slang, and like that way I can converse with my nieces and nephews. And so you could say that President Obama is the Wizard of Oz.
No. Okay. I'm going to start teaching you fake slang so that you're always
no, don't do that.
Always,
How would I ever know?
This was Josiah from Pondering Politics. We are going to see ya.
Yeah.
Thank you, homie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come back on stream in a bit.
100%. This is mine, right? Not yours?
That is mine. I just put that down.
You. See, he's very good.
Yeah.
All right,
keeping track. We have some people coming on stream in 1 second, guys. Let me know when we're live with Meidas. 1 second. Keep going. We're ready to pull you in. How's everybody doing? You guys love Josiah. So charismatic. How much we got? What do we got live right now? Anyone know? Cool. Okay. You let me know when we intro to Meidas. We're standing by for MeidasTouch stream.
Cool.
Let's just chat for a minute while we're chilling. So, are you excited?
Hell yeah, I'm excited.
We're live? We are live on MeidasTouch. What is up, Meidas Mighty? We are live from the blue carpet at the Democratic National Convention 2024 in Chicago. The energy at the United Center is palpable. We have hundreds of people walking past. Who am I here with today?
You're here with Olivia Juliana, H-Town Till I Drown.
You guys know who Olivia Juliana is. You guys all know who she is. One of the most strong activists for Gen Z. Let everyone know your experience and what you do.
What I do is I make Republican congressmen cry. No, I'm just kidding. What I do is I talk about the political issues as a young person, as a 21-year-old living in Texas who deals with the laws that my legislature passes. And I try to get young people to understand how government works, to want to take a part in making government work. And I'm here at the DNC this week. I'm speaking tomorrow night. And I'm so proud to be able to here to represent Texas, to represent Gen Z, and to represent abortion rights activists.
You guys are about to see Olivia Juliana speak tomorrow night and give one of the most fiery speeches you have ever seen. It will be so great. Are you ready? Are you prepped?
Well, I'm ready to prep. Don't oversell it. I mean, this is the same stage that, Ann Richards and Jasmine Crockett have spoke on. Don't put me up there quite yet.
She's going to give a subpar speech. Let's set the expectations low.
I'm going to give a speech on a scale of 1 to 10 is at least a 6.
You're not going to like it. You're going to hate it. And then they're actually going to end up loving it. So let me ask you, how can we get through to people in our generation who are overwhelmingly liberal? They believe in gay marriage. They believe in that we need climate change reform, gun reform, but they think that both sides are effectively the same. You've heard this before, right? What is your technique to reach these people?
To have the conversations. I have a lot of friends who I went to high school with who are very conservative, who identified as Republican while we were in high school. Now they're coming into adulthood. I can't tell you how many of them have reached out to me and be like, I didn't think about this from this perspective that you talked about. Being factual, coming into the conversations in a very calm and collected way. These people are not our enemies, I dislike extreme Republicans just as much as the next person, but that doesn't mean I'm not willing to sit down and have a conversation with one. And that's because that is how we get our government to work, is through compromise, through conversation, even on the difficult topics. And the more that we humanize each other, the more that we have these conversations, I think the better political outcomes we'll get, especially when it comes to bringing in those Gen Z voters who are very progressive on the social issues and getting them to understand also Republicans are bad on the economy. Donald Trump's economic plan is awful. He wants to impose tariffs that would raise the price of consumer goods. They're the reason why tuition costs have increased, why housing costs have increased, why grocery costs have increased. This is not on Democrats. This is on Republicans who Donald Trump inherited the economy that Barack Obama created. And we're not going to let Donald Trump inherit the economy that Joe Biden created and take credit for the accomplishments that were passed into law by Joe Biden. And that 51st vote was passed by Kamala Harris. We're going to make sure that we send her back to the White House so that we know who is working for the American people, because it sure as hell ain't Donald Trump.
It is very well said, number one, but it's so frustrating to me because, so Obama had to come in and clean up the mess of Bush, but they blamed it on Obama. He fixes the economy, and then Trump comes in and takes credit for it, then tanks it, and then people blame it on President Biden. It's so annoying, but I just want to move back to something.
Look at this.
Harry
We're
Sisson
live
is joining
on
the stream.
Right now.
Mockler.
What's up, Harry Sisson?
How are you, man?
How you doing? We have a few Gen Z creators here live at the DNC 2024 on MeidasTouch. If you're a part of the Meidas Mighty, you know all of us. What's up, Chris? How you doing?
Good.
Let's ask you guys what we were just talking about. How do we engage Gen Z voters who are overwhelmingly liberal? They believe that gay marriage should be legal. They believe in climate change, but they say that both sides are the same. You've heard it before.
Yeah, look, I think Secretary Buttigieg said it really well on CNN recently. Got to meet them where they're at. Got to meet them where they're at. Embracing social media like we're doing right now. Talking to voters who might not be picking up the phone or something like that, looking at their text messages. That's the way we meet young voters. And talking about the issues that actually matter to young voters. Let's talk about reproductive rights. Let's talk about climate change. Let's talk about education. These things get young voters fired up, and when we talk about them, we win.
Yep. What about you, Chris?
I think one of the keys is individual stories. I talk about this all the time. People come to me and say they're both the same, and I say, well, respectfully, there's a 7th grade girl in Mississippi who was assaulted in her own backyard, forced to give birth because of an abortion ban. Would you say that to her family's face? Because her life would be different right now if Roe v. Wade wasn't overturned. You can go to many different stories specifically around abortion, like Kate Cox, Deborah in Florida was 22 weeks pregnant. And so I think those individual stories, also gun violence, play a big role in showing people that bring back that humanity a little bit, because sometimes on social media or behind a camera, it's hard to imagine. These are real people facing real issues. And you see when Democrats are in office, a lot of those stories flip on their heads. So
I want to back up to something Olivia said a second ago. You said part of mobilization is humanizing both sides, and I've actually had a really similar journey. So I went to my first Trump rally for a video 14 months ago, and when you go into those, you only talk to Trump. I had only talked to Trump supporters most of the time online, or in high school I'd argue with my friends. You think they're all the enemy, you think they're all evil, but you go there and it's just like your aunt or your uncle who's been misled. It's like a sweet lady who's 60 years old who has the same end goals, a happy family, a healthy life, and we just diverge at some point. So humanizing the other side and having conversations that allow us to reach a middle ground, I think is really, really, really important, because a lot of these people are not evil, they're just misled. They haven't interacted with fact patterns that we've interacted with. I have friends that don't even know what the date January 6th means, and they're otherwise liberal, so it's how can we fill this information gap and bridge the divide? I want to ask you, how do you think we live in a post-Trump world? Do you think media literacy classes are necessary? How do we recover from this MAGA era?
It has to be some form of media literacy. And look, I think you made a great point. Not everybody on the other side is inherently evil, where someone we have to say, oh, they're this or that. A lot of people have just been misled. They have a completely different set of facts. You go to Fox News, you think, oh, January 6th was peaceful. Oh, Donald Trump's being set up. That's not the reality. When you show people the facts, their minds change. Obviously we have the MAGA cult who will always swear by what Donald Trump says, but there are genuinely people I've talked to on the Republican side who, when you present them new evidence, they're like, I haven't thought about it that way before. I think that's a really compelling way to go about it.
Are you telling me that Antifa didn't actually commit January 6th? Is that what you're saying right now?
Isn't that remarkable? I am telling you that.
That's wild to me. That's news to me. So I want to ask you the same question. Before I do you have anything you want to plug for the stream? Since you're speaking tomorrow, this is a DNC speaker. Are you the only Gen Z speaker?
I am not the only Gen Z speaker. There are a few of us.
We'll just say you're the best Gen Z speaker.
I think I'm the only one from... No, I'm not from Texas. Carlos is from Texas, too. Anyways, I am launching my Substack tonight, where I'm going to be writing about what it has been like to be a DNC speaker, the entire process, what it means for me as a young person from Texas. So if you feel so inclined, you can go to my Twitter. It's my pinned tweet, Olivia Juliana's Substack. And if you also feel so inclined to be a paid subscriber, then you'll be helping me pay my college tuition. Olivia Juliana, one of the strongest forces that Gen Z has. I want to ask you, how do we live in a post-MAGA era? Harry said media literacy classes. I think that's brilliant. I think we should teach media literacy classes from a young age. Imagine
elementary, middle, high school, we have media literacy classes, I don't think the MAGA movement would exist. I'm sorry.
No, I think media literacy classes is a great place to start, but I also think that it starts with Democrats not being afraid to go into Republican spaces. We need more Democrats on Fox News. We need more Democrats going into these Republican events and having these conversations, calling them out on their lies directly. And all of us and Michelle Obama, but when they go low, I do not go high. I meet them there. Because if you're going to lie about the policies that you've passed, if you're going to lie about the things that you've done, then we're going to come, we're going to fact check you, and we're going to tell the American people the truth. Because that's how we got into this circumstances to begin with, is by letting these people stomp on our rights, stomp on our freedoms, and we got to cut it out. And that means not being afraid of them. They are people like us too. They are convicted in their beliefs. They just happen to be wrong sometimes. And it's okay for us to go in there and have those conversations. So, by the way, if anyone sees Charlie Kirk around here at the DNC, let him know I'm looking for him. I'd love to have that conversation.
We've been trying to stream snipe him this entire time. We're watching his live stream trying to find where he is, but it's just not.
He's here today.
He's over there. Okay. We might have to go check that out. So I want to ask you, Chris, essentially, how do Democrats stop themselves from being on defense? Because Donald Trump is always launching attacks. How do we react to these attacks without being on defense all the time? For example, we recently have launched this weird attack. I'm pretty sure Tim Walz was the one who was at the forefront of that. And this has put Republicans on the defense for like one of the first times. You want to take this away?
Yeah.
And then we'll introduce Aaron.
Okay, yeah. Listen, I think that the reality is, like Olivia said, you have to like be willing. You have to be willing to hit hard at like Republicans and MAGA. I think they're very good because of how often they lie. They're pathological liars. The media playbook for Republicans, respectfully, is like so much larger. I mean, because they can just say anything. They can lie about anything. Whatever works. And Democrats don't do that. So they're more confined to the truth, which is a good thing. And so I think that like if you hit hard and constantly tell the American people, show the true colors, show them that Republicans are lying, the playbook is a lie, and we have to do a better job like telling Americans to reject a lot of like the media that is broken, like Fox News, because part of the media literacy, that's a part of it, and then adding in that like Democrats need to hit hard at rejecting these false narratives. Like we have to pull Americans away from news networks like Fox News. You cannot watch a news network that was sued for almost $1 billion for defamation. I talk to Republicans about that all the time. They have no idea. They've never even heard of it. There's subpoenaed text messages of Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, all the people in the court documents of them saying, oh yeah, we hate Donald Trump. We know the election's not stolen. Tucker said, I can't wait to stop talking about him. And nobody knows that. And so you got to take some of those things, really push hard and show that like we're the side that we're not pathological liars.
Yep.
That's what I got.
Same question to you.
And what was the question?
I forgot. What was the question?
The question was, I kind of added.
How do we stop Republicans from putting us on the defense all the time?
And then I added it.
There's no reason why we should be on the defense, ever. We have the winning policy. President Biden, in the past 4 years with Vice President Kamala Harris, we have invested in infrastructure. We have passed the gun safety bill. We have made the largest investment in fighting climate change. There's no reason for the Democrats to be on the back foot. Look, Republicans are always going to have these weird attacks, and they're going to bring up this or that or bring up this conspiracy. When we focus on the truth and what we've done and what we've accomplished and what the American people care about, it goes a long way. We win elections. So I think can use that to be on the offensive as opposed to playing into their conspiracy theories and being on the defense constantly.
Absolutely. And I really agreed with what Olivia said, I believe. She said we need to have Democrats going into Republican spaces more and showing that we can do that. I think, honestly, we had a problem on the left for a while where we kind of just wanted to, not all of us, but some of us just wanted to isolate ourselves because we thought MAGA Republicans were so stuck in their ways. But I think it is important for our democracy to reach across the aisle, not with Alex Jones. I'm not saying with people like Alex Jones. I'm saying if you can talk to somebody, if you can have Adam Kinzinger talk to a moderate Republican who's kind of leaning MAGA and flip them, that is how democracy functions. And I think that is how we recover from this, by allowing them to revert back to the mean of the Republican Party, hopefully. I want to ask you, have you felt this momentum flip over the past few weeks, and what has it been like for a Gen Z person to be in such a historic time with so much momentum?
Oh my God, I can't even begin to tell you. The momentum shift has been remarkable. You can kind of just not only see it in the polling, but you can feel it. I mean, just look around us. Look around us and the excitement, the hope in this building. And I know there's a bunch of Democrats in here, but if you go to Kamala Harris rallies, you talk to your friends, family, loved ones, these are people who are real Americans, real voters, and they're feeling it as well. They see that Kamala Harris is offering ideas for the future, and Donald Trump is offering ideas for the past. And you can, it's not just in the data. It's in the air almost.
They don't want us to say this on camera, but everyone that you see is AI. All AI. Yeah. Donald Trump was actually right for once. It's all AI. So how have you felt about the momentum switch?
Same. I think it's been like absolutely surreal and incredible. We've really like broken into the environment that is like not political. You know, like with the fractured media environment, talk about it all the time. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. A lot of Gen Zers who aren't too passionate about politics are still like engaging themselves in the memes, like being like, oh my gosh, this is like really exciting. Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and like Harry said, I mean, you can just feel it everywhere. Like it's hard to talk, you know, to people who are, like aren't on social media all day, but you know it. Like you can see it in the algorithm, you can feel it. It's electric. We have like less than 90 days to go, and I'm like fully convinced we're going to crush on.
But the thing that we need to emphasize is that no matter how much momentum we have, all that matters is that you show up on November 5th and you vote. There's vote.gov, I believe is the website. Vote.gov. Make sure you're registered. Make sure your friends and family have a ride to the polls. Because I always use this example, and this may make some people mad, but Jamal Bowman, for example, you guys remember that. He has hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. Everybody loves him on social media. But he lost to somebody who had maybe 6,000 followers, and it's because online following or energy doesn't directly translate. So my entire point, to bring it back, is that we need to actually mobilize and make sure that your friends and family show up at the polls, make sure that everybody is voting blue. It shouldn't be that hard to convince them, because Donald Trump is, even friends that are apolitical of mine are like, this guy is weird, this guy is crazy. And the difference between somebody who, I guess I want to ask you, how does the Democratic Party reclaim patriotism or being the party of veterans and the Constitution? Because Republicans claim to be, they want to terminate the Constitution, they ripped Tim Walz for zero reason, and they want to stop the peaceful transfer of power. So how do we reclaim this?
Honestly, I'm going to take a stand here and say we've almost already reclaimed it. Yep. I talk to people all the time. You know, like you see a Trump supporter, it's almost stunning that in 2020, looking at where they were with things like the American flag, Colin Kaepernick kneeling for the American flag, and now they have upside down flags, and they're putting a Trump face on it, and they're saying, you know, the DOJ and the system's rigged, the party of law and order. It's events like these, when you're, you know, blasting it through social media, blasting it through real media, that show the American people, like, this is the party of patriotism, not the convicted felon, not the person who tried to overturn an election. And so social media plays a super important part. But I agree. I think that as amazing as this is, it's all got to take all that energy and work hard to convert it into voting.
One little check.
There is a risk if you have so much energy and you don't convert it in the right ways. But yeah, I'd say we already are. I'd say I've talked to a lot of Americans who are like, this is the party. We just got to keep blasting it. Yep. Blast it everywhere.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean, look, I would just say that us three right here, we love America. We love this country.
I love it so much.
We love this country. We think America is the greatest country on earth, and we're here because we want to make America better. Now, I think we just have to look at the split screen of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Democrats for the past 4 years have been investing in America, building in America, and making the country better. Republicans are wanting to take us back. Donald Trump is stuck in the 1950s. It's like, we're not going back there. We are not going back, as VP Harris says. So we're focused on the future, making a better America. We understand that the country's great. There's more to do, making a better America. The Republicans just keep wanting to go backwards, man.
And to take your comment literally, if you actually look at the split screen of the DNC and the RNC, what we had, I think everyone was waving USA flags, and they were saying, like, deport them all, or whatever it was. I want to welcome to the stream Aaron Parnas. Sorry to rope you in like this. How you doing?
Good.
Introduce yourself to the MeidasTouch, the Meidas Mighty. I'm sure they know you.
How's it going, Meidas Mighty? I'm Aaron Parnas.
What's up?
Mockler.
Oh, okay. Can we talk about something that's really, really important to me that I don't think gets enough attention, and that's Donald Trump's fake elector scheme. We talk a lot about January 6th, the date of January 6th. What do you guys think about the idea that if we remove January 6th entirely, it would still count as a coup? You're from Georgia, right?
Yeah, you can tell I'm excited. I'm from Georgia. I go live and debate Trump supporters all the time. I'd say 95% of them have, he tried to, first legally, filing 61 federal lawsuits in court, I believe, and losing 60 of them, exhausted his legal options to overturn the election, and then engaged in trying to overturn the election illegally, and all of them say, you know, January 6th. I say, hold on a second. There's a fake electors plot. He sent a group of fake electors to Georgia with a fake document trying to defraud the United States government, multiple different swing states. That's why he's facing a RICO charge. I say, he's in the Oval Office with the Department of Justice trying to force them to sign a letter with their header saying, we believe there's election fraud. Donald Trump said this will help convince the American public that there was election fraud. 2 DOJ officials resigned over that.
And they threatened to resign en masse.
Yes,
That's the crazy part.
It's absurd. absurdity that more people don't know that. It is unheard of in American history for a president to be pressuring a DOJ, really in any way, but especially in that way. That's like one of my most passionate subjects.
What's the difference between a president who tries in every single way to entrench his power through extra legal means by a fake elector scheme, January 6th, pressuring different officials, versus somebody who willingly gives up the most powerful position in the world, which is President Biden? He said, "I will not run for a second term," and the quote he uses is something to the effect of, "I love my party, but I love my country more," is what he says, which I think is really, really powerful. I want to ask you something that we've been talking about. How do you think we mobilize Gen Z voters that are disillusioned otherwise with institutions? People who say, "I believe in gay marriage, I believe in equality, climate change, but both sides are the same." You've heard it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to reach voters where they're at, right? And reach young voters where they're at on social media, on Instagram, on TikTok, and directly market towards those people by going to creators and going to individuals who aren't political in nature, right? Lifestyle, family creators who are directly communicating with everyday young people, everyday Americans every single day. So I think that's how you mobilize, especially young voters who are disillusioned. I think they don't want to hear from the regular politicos. They don't want to hear from the politicians, from government. They want to hear from the people that they get their content from every single day.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. We were talking earlier with Olivia Juliana, one of your good friends, and she was saying part of it is not making sure you don't dehumanize the other side, making sure that they understand. Michael Cohen. My name's Adam Mockler from MeidasTouch. We are live on Midas. Hop in. No need to introduce this man.
Nope.
No need to introduce at all. You just arrived at the DNC?
Literally just arrived.
Did you get in Chicago today or yesterday?
Today.
Okay, interesting. So this is your first day. How do you feel the energy, or how does the energy on the ground feel to you right now?
Unbelievable. I mean, look, this isn't my first convention that I've been attending. The energy here is very different. There's so much positivity. I'm on the bus, right? I took the bus over, as opposed to being chauffeured in one of the black Suburbans with the lights going.
Did you get recognized on the bus?
Sure. So between the photos being asked, but the nicer part is people starting to talk about Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. They're not talking about the event. They're not talking about the various things. They're talking about Kamala Harris and they're talking about Tim Walz. And that's what you want when you're running into an election scenario. Everything else is secondary. That is the primary focus. You want to continue to have people talking about the candidates because that's what's going to get people to the ballot in order to vote.
And it's not just that we're talking about the candidates, it's that we're now talking about a forward-looking, hopeful message, which I don't think we had before. Donald Trump is always using this apocalyptic, regressive rhetoric, talking about immigrants in dehumanizing ways. Meanwhile, we have VP Harris.
Meanwhile, two of his wives are immigrants.
Literally.
I mean, right? I mean, does that make any sense to you?
The man is full of contradictions to the core. How do you feel about... I want to ask you, how do you feel about Donald Trump attacking Democrats, and how do we stop ourselves from being on the defense all the time? I feel like something that Donald Trump is good at, he's not good at much, but he knows how to throw stuff at the wall and put Democrats on the defense. So what strategy can we employ to make sure that...
Look, I have spoken to a slew of individuals at the DNC. I've been a Democrat my whole life. It's a mistake that many people make where they're like, oh, well, you're Republican simply because why? Donald was a Republican? Yes, I switched my party for about a month because I was the vice chair of the RNC Finance Committee. I get it. I've been a Democrat my entire life. Messaging has always been a problem for Democrats. We need to go on the offensive. You need to ensure that the message that you're getting out there to the voter about Donald Trump is it's not just accurate, but it has to be hard-hitting. And it's not that difficult. Just use his own words. I talk about a case that I'm involved in right now. I have a writ of certiorari to the Supreme Court on an unconstitutional remand of me back to prison because I refused to waive my First Amendment constitutional right. A lot of people don't know that. How could you not know that I am the first political prisoner held by this country, by my own country, because I refused to waive my First Amendment right? That is the most unconstitutional thing that a president or his administration can do, and as a result, that should be talked about. That, to me, is the real disqualifier for any president.
And you knew Donald Trump well. If you don't want to talk about this,
better than anyone,
you don't have to. If you don't want to talk about this, you don't have to. But when you talk to him in person, does his ego drip through in a similar way as when he's giving speeches?
No, it's different because when you speak to Donald and you're an employee, it's basically to resolve a task. Now, my relationship with him was a little bit different. It was further than just the tasks. We had a personal relationship as well. But you always knew his ego. You knew his ego before you even stepped into the room. You knew his ego before you accepted the job. So,
is it true that he generally just says what the last person told him?
Yeah, it's literally the last person. It's always been a statement. The last person who speaks to him controls the brain.
That's what I'm thinking. Remember on stage when he was asked about J.D. Vance and he was like, it doesn't really have any effect. I'm pretty sure his advisors told him that right before. Like, hey, the VP pick doesn't have any effect. And he just spit that out, not realizing the optics of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's as stupid can be, right?
And again, you don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but was there pressure on you before the Manhattan trial?
There's been pressure on me for 6 years now, since the time that the FBI raided my hotel, my home.
So you felt it? You felt the pressure?
Sure I did.
Are you still...
How could you not? I still feel it to this day.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so we're here at the DNC, though. You're surrounded by people who are your friends.
There you go.
There you go. You're surrounded in your home base. See, we've been to a lot of Maga rallies, and the difference could not be more stark. We go to these Trump rallies, and, the people are nice, but talking to people here, it's a different experience. So can you talk to people in my generation, somebody who's 21 years old and who may be disillusioned
with
21 years old.
You're a youngin.
Yeah, I'm a youngin. People who may be disillusioned with our institutions and don't want to vote this election cycle, and they think both sides are the same. I have friends like this. We argue all the time. They say, I believe in climate change. I believe in marriage equality, but both sides are the same. How do you rebuke that as somebody who knows Donald Trump?
There is no comparison between the two parties. So I would say this to the Gen Zers out there. You're a lot smarter than we are as a group. Much, much smarter. Look, I have a daughter who's 28 and a son who's 25. They are hands down smarter than my wife and I by a multiple. You have to understand, climate change is going to affect our lives no matter what. If you care about climate change, then you have to vote for Kamala Harris. If you care about a woman's reproductive rights, if you care about the Constitution, if you care about our democratic republic, how could you vote for somebody that has said repeatedly that he wants to rewrite the Constitution on day one? Could you imagine this dumbass trying to write the Constitution? Imagine, as smart as you are, imagine if I said to you, write the Constitution right now, and you've studied it. Could you write the Constitution? I couldn't, and I'm a lawyer, and I know the Constitution. I could not write it or try to enhance it. I just don't have that ability. Believe me, neither does he. He'll have to pull out his Crayola crayons, right, and start writing on the back of his stolen document.
It would be written like his tweets, like all caps, and then typos, and then all caps, and then he'll refer to himself in third person. It would be wild.
It would be, but he turns around and he understands how to destroy something. Not how to build it, but how to destroy it. He wants to rewrite the Constitution. He wants to destroy our tripartite system of government. He wants to confer all power to the executive branch, strip the legislative and the judiciary of their co-equal power, right, conferred, and only to himself, which basically makes him into what? A king, a monarch, a ruler, the Führer, a supreme leader? Who wants that? That's not what America was founded. That's not America's future. That's not our ideals.
Not at all. And I want to build on your message to Gen Z, because someday we'll take over these institutions that right now some people are disillusioned with. And if we want these institutions to be functioning, if we want to be able to pass climate change legislation, gun reform, education reform, we need to have functioning institutions. And if Donald Trump wins this election, we won't have functioning institutions.
See, the difference, too, is Donald is full of shit across the board. He's full of shit. Number one, Donald Trump does not care for guns.
Yep.
He's not NRA. He never was. Don Jr. and Eric were always NRA. He's never been NRA. All of a sudden, he found himself a group of individuals that listen to his message. And as a direct result, what ends up happening? He then becomes an NRA guy. He becomes a pro-gun guy. Anybody that thinks that it makes any sense to have a bump stock where you could take a semi-automatic weapon and turn it into a fully automatic weapon is an idiot. And there's no other way to describe it. This is not what we want in this country. The Constitution did not call, even though it's Second Amendment right to bear arms, it's not what they were called. They're not talking about AR-15s and weapons of mass destruction that belong only on a battlefield.
The one that really gets me is when Donald Trump says that people who burn a flag should lose their citizenship, which I probably wouldn't burn a flag, but that is one of our First Amendment rights. So we can do that. Donald Trump doesn't have a fundamental understanding of the Constitution that he claims to uphold. The Midas Mighty, you are watching Michael Cohen and Adam Mockler on the blue carpet in Chicago at the 2024 DNC. Can I ask you, Michael, who are you most excited to see speak this this week?
All of them. I mean, this is such a contrast between the RNC, where you had Hulk Hogan ripping off his shirt, you had Chris Rock, not Chris Rock, Chris,
Kid Rock.
No, sorry, Chris. Hey, I know Chris, he's going to get pissed. Kid Rock, where he's going to turn around and he's jumping all over the stage, or Amber Rose. I mean, that was more of a shit show. It was more of a production, like a WWE event, as opposed to what you see here. You see politicians talking about policies that matter, and that don't just matter to Gen Z, but matter to all Americans. And that's what you're finding right now. You're finding conversations where it's inclusive as opposed to divisive. Even the RNC message was divisive, but that's Donald. That's Donald. If he can't beat them one way, he's going to get them the other way.
Is it really a political convention if Kid Rock isn't there, though? I feel like you need Kid Rock.
By the way, Kid Rock's there. I mean, welcome to The Apprentice, or, the Celebrity Apprentice. Failures.
I have a few final questions for you. Something that I'm really passionate about, that I think is really important, that isn't talked about enough, is Donald Trump's fake elector scheme. Now, we talk a lot about January 6th because just the visuals of it are terrible, but there's also... There's also the fake elector scheme, where Donald Trump tried to entrench his power by pressuring Mike Pence into choosing fake slates of electors. Can you explain the threat of that? How much that hurts the fabric of our democracy?
Not the same as it was when Trump was president. Mm-hmm. So imagine now Donald Trump calls up Brad Raffensperger and says, find me 11,780 votes. What would if I was Brad Raffensperger, what would I say?
Hell no.
I'd tell him to go fuck himself. Right? What do you want? Right? Why are you calling me? Piss off. He doesn't have any power. And that's the beauty. So all of this nonsense about the fake electors, Donald's going to do this, he's going to do that, he's going to do nothing because he has no power.
He has no power, and that's
Zero.
All he desperately wants is to be a king. And now we have the Supreme Court helping him speed run and do Project 2025. Project 2025 embraces this maximalist version of unitary executive theory that says Donald Trump could stuff the government, the federal government, with tons of employees through a Schedule F executive order, and in the process, he would become a king. And the scary part is the Supreme Court is almost helping him in that process.
And the Supreme Court is stupid in this, very much like the mega billionaires that are helping him. Donald cares for no one or anything other than himself. So these mega billionaires that are giving him all this money, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to pull a Mohammed bin Salman on them, or he's going to pull a Vladimir Putin. He's going to say, how much money, Elon, are you worth? $300 billion? I don't think so. How about you're worth $299? I want you to send it to my personal account. That's what he's going to do, and they're too stupid to see. The greed in Donald Trump, the grift in Trump is boundless. End of story. Supreme Court, the more that they keep protecting him, the more they're jeopardizing their own positions. Why? Because Donald Trump has said himself about rewriting the Constitution, stripping the tripartite system. There will be no judiciary. You don't need a Supreme Court under Donald Trump. He is the start, the middle, and the finish. He's the judge, the jury, and the executioner all in one.
It's absurd to me, and this brilliant man...
Nothing for nothing. I called this back in 20 when I testified before the House Oversight Committee, and I told you that if Donald Trump loses the election, my biggest fear is that there will never be a peaceful transfer of power. I said it. I got from the media attacks like you can't even imagine. Oh, you're crazy. You're hyperbolic. You just have a hatred for Donald. I know him better than anyone. I know him better than all these people that are there. I truly know him better than almost his own family. And I'm telling you, I called it 2 years in advance, the same way I'm telling you. If, God forbid, a million times that he wins this election, our Democratic Republic is finished.
Absolutely. And I want to point out the difference between the DNC and the RNC. So if you guys saw that picture, the DNC, they're holding up signs that say USA. At the RNC, they were saying deport them all. The difference between these two parties could not be more stark, and it just blows my mind that people cannot see it, right?
Yeah, when you talk take away their homes. They can take away their property. What do you think's going to happen?
Violence.
It's
Midas Mighty, if you guys are enjoying this, this is an exclusive coverage only seen on MeidasTouch. And then I want to also ask you, finally, have you felt the on-the-ground momentum shift over the past few weeks? Since we're currently on the ground at the DNC, how does the momentum feel here, and how does it feel compared to about a month ago when we were all a little bit depressed?
It's a complete 180. I mean, Donald Trump having momentum. All of a sudden, Joe country over. And he stepped back and he said what I thought was one of the kindest and sweetest things anybody can say, which is, I want to turn over power, right, to the next generation. I want to turn the levers to the next generation. And that, again, show you the difference between the personality of a Joe Biden, the personality of Trump.
You just watched Michael Cohen and Adam Mockler live on the blue carpet. That was a great conversation. Thank you, and let's meet back up. Let's do it. Show them the media we have around us. Exclusive. We have hundreds of people. Michael Cohen pulls eyes. That was Michael Cohen live on the blue carpet. He just touched down at the DNC, and we got the first exclusive interview. We have, look at that, we have 30 people chasing Michael Cohen for an interview. Even Pete Buttigieg doesn't have this many people following him around. This is amazing. Cool. Did we get most of that?
Yeah, we went down for maybe 30 seconds twice.
Well then, other than that, good? Cool. Sorry guys if there were any technical difficulties. We're running this all live on the blue carpet. We are running a experimental rig, so we are just making sure that everything is good. If it turns black for 1 second, you want to hop on stream for a second? We are live on MeidasTouch with Kyla. Oh, Michael Cohen over there?
Should I tell your viewers what I witnessed from behind the scenes?
Yeah, if it's appropriate.
Yeah, so what you guys missed, what you guys didn't see on the camera is Adam was surrounded by people, and he was the only interviewee. Were you the only one that got to talk to him the whole time?
Yeah, they all just chased him away.
I know they did. I know. And they were like, can I have even just 1 minute of your time? That was How did you land that?
Because he's really good friends with MeidasTouch. He's really good friends with the owners of Midas. Great man. So, introduce yourself to the stream. Who are you and what do you do?
Do you want my streamer name or my real name?
Real name.
My name is Kyla Turner. I run a podcast with the infamous Destiny called Bridges Podcast, and I do some of my own YouTubing, but pretty small time.
You work at Progressive Victory, helping mobilize voters. Talk to us about how we can mobilize voters heading into the 2024 election, because we have about 80 days to go. And my worry, I've used this example a few times, but I'm worried that the momentum on the ground and on the internet, I want it to translate into the polls effectively. I use this example all the time, but Jamal Bowman has hundreds of thousands of followers, and he lost his election to somebody with a fraction of the followers he has, which proves that social media following doesn't convert directly to votes. So as somebody who helps organize canvassing operations, can you explain why it's so important to be active and to get out the vote?
Well, I think Jamal Bowman's a really good example of how social media prowess is important for getting eyes on you, but it doesn't translate to votes because your followers can be from all across the country, and you need your district voters to turn out for you, right? I think Jamal Bowman only had about an 8% support amongst his people as far as donors, whereas his opponent had 50% of his funding coming right locally from his district. And so I think a lot of people, when social media can be really intimidating because it makes the world really, really, really small, and it makes you feel like a vapor. But the reality is that at the end of the day, what matters is typically like 1 or 2 votes, 300 to 400 votes. Entire elections have been swapped because of like 500 votes in swing states. And so I think remembering that you're like local and state level politics is what matters. Did I answer your question?
You answered it perfectly. No, that was great. That was great. And it's just incredibly important that you visit websites like vote.gov, that you make sure your friends and family are registered, and they have a ride to the polling station on November 5th. There are so many ways our voice can be heard in America, and that's what's so beautiful about this country. It doesn't have to be perfect, but in America, we can debate, we can canvass, we can door knock, we can phone bank, we can do all of this freely, and I think that is a beautiful thing. How do you feel about the on-the-ground momentum shift ever since VP Harris has taken over?
Yeah, I mean, getting people mobilized for Harris is easy. It's easy potatoes. She's just brought about this like new energy. I don't think anyone expected it. I think a lot of people were very nervous about her being the replacement for an incumbent presidential seat. And she's not just like killed it, she's like landslided it. There's just a lot of like local, there's a lot of young voters that are really interested in her. I feel like she's turning the attention back towards, and people feel like a spark of hope for the Democrats that I feel like it's been missing like pre-Hillary, where there's just, it's not just, whereas Biden, I think in large part there was a lot of support for him because he was kind of the antithesis of Trump. He offered stability. I think people are turning out for Kamala because of who Kamala is, not just to be anti-Trump, which I think is really important that Democrats capture their own kind of like radiance rather than just being opposite of the other thing, which I think Kamala does really well.
Great answer. Now, where can people find you, Kyla?
You know what, you can find me at Not So Erudite, or more importantly, if you're interested in ground-level local politics, check out Progressive Victory. We organize canvassing, and we'll be in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania.
Progressive Victory is holding canvassing operations in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. I believe I will be canvassing with you guys in Wisconsin. If you guys want to meet me in Wisconsin, we'll be canvassing, door knocking, and registering voters. Thank you so much, Kyla. Let's go do a lap. How's everything going? Cool. Let's see who we can find at the DNC. Who is this over here? Earlier we saw Jordan Klepper. He was surrounded by people. We've seen a few politicians and surrogates that are surrounded by media. Thank you so much. This is an on-the-ground exclusive view of the DNC. You won't find this at any other channel. We are showing you what it's like inside the United Center as people get ready for day 2 of the Democratic National Convention. We're walking around talking to politicians, talking to surrogates. It's going to be great. And the energy shift has just been mind-blowing. I think I truly underestimated how much a new candidate would shift the energy. I was riding with Biden 100% fully, but ever since the flip, I'm really convinced that this was the right move, that this new momentum is going to take us to a victory in November. Let's see if we can pull someone aside to interview. What's this guy up to? Interesting hat right there. Currently in the United Center. You want to talk to us about Kamala Harris, sir? It's all good. Part of the game. Yesterday we had some amazing interviews with some politicians that are somewhat unknown, which is nice. It's nice to introduce politicians that are just local. How you doing? Sorry, 1 second. It's nice to introduce local politicians or give them a platform where they're able to speak about their local politics. Because a lot of times we get caught up in national politics, which is important, but at the same time, these local... You want to talk to us about Kamala Harris, sir? No. I need to start leading with MeidasTouch, right? MeidasTouch, let's talk about Kamala Harris. Because MeidasTouch, people respect the name MeidasTouch, trust me. Let's see how it works when we do it here. Let's see if we have a higher success rate. Sorry, 1 second. We've got a lot of media, a lot of creators. See, the interesting thing about the 2024 DNC is that they have created an amazing space for creators. Excuse me. To be able to make content, to be able to talk to politicians. Excuse me, sir. Let's see if we can find a Kamala Harris supporter to talk to. Excuse me about that. Sorry. the Harris wall screen at the DNC 2024 in the United Center. It is a really, really cool setup in here. Let's see if we can pull some people aside and interview them on Kamala Harris. Do you want to talk to MeidasTouch about Kamala Harris?
I don't. Thank you. I'm sorry.
He doesn't want to. That's okay. We're going to get some good interviews for you guys. It seems like everybody's in a rush. Do you want to talk to MeidasTouch about Kamala Harris?
Sure.
Let's do it real quick. Digital media company MeidasTouch.
All right, cool.
Let's talk about your support for VP Harris. First of all, introduce yourself to the stream. We're live.
Hey, how you doing? My name's Yves Zamar, and I'm here as a super volunteer for the party.
You're a volunteer. So what made you volunteer for the Democratic Party?
Well, I mean, I've been part of the party, and I've been supporting the candidates. I believe in the mission, and I mean, I think there's no greater party. We're coalescing everybody together from every demographic, every gender, every race, every ideology within the spectrum, and it was just trying to move the country forward. So.
And VP Harris has successfully built this coalition so quickly. In a record time, she has built a coalition of an insane amount of groups. What issues are most important to you when you think about this upcoming election?
I really have to think about just home ownership and just food to table issues, because those are the issues that impact everybody. And those are the issues that are really have identified with VP Harris, and why working class people, everyday people have identified with her, because she has the same background and experience as many of these people.
Absolutely. I think when I think about this election cycle, the broad issues are democracy, climate change, abortion, women's rights. All of these things that are putting our country at stake are on the ballot. And what would be your message to somebody my age? I'm 21 years old. So if you had a direct line to 21-year-olds who don't want to vote this election for whatever reason, how do you explain to them the stakes?
I really don't even go to tell people about what the stakes are. But when I talk to a 21-year-old, I think a lot of times you find a candidate that you'll identify with, and much like that, you have a young Kamala Harris who's just talking about she was working at Howard University at McDonald's and finding her way and finding her passion. Nowadays, that might not necessarily look like McDonald's. You might be an influencer, you might be building a brand. There's many different things, but it just shows you and instills you that well-to-do of like, hey, I don't have to come from this background to succeed, so there's a reason you should believe in this person. Because they have this background that you can identify with, and you know that this person takes your issues into account as they legislate.
Exactly, and what's the difference between the ticket where the top candidate worked at McDonald's and the other candidate worked as a teacher, as a football coach? What's the difference between that ticket and the ticket of someone who was rich their entire lives, fed a silver spoon, inherited hundreds of millions of dollars, and then their VP nominee, J.D. Vance, went to an elite university and now rails against those same elite universities that he built his career off of the back of. So what's the difference between somebody like Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, somebody who knows what the working class life is like, versus somebody who will flip just like that to get ahead? Thank you for talking to us. I appreciate this. And if you want to see the live stream, take this card.
All right, man.
Great chat. Let's keep going. You're good.
There you go.
Let's wrap back around to the blue carpet real fast. Is Ben there? Ben's at the blue carpet? Okay. We're heading back over here to talk to some more people. As you can see, the DNC is slowly getting more and more packed. The convention center is filling up as the speeches are about to begin. Last night, really interesting moment, a behind-the-scenes moment. VP Harris took the stage for just a few minutes, and during that, the entire convention center basically began to run to try to get a seat. So my camera and I were sprinting up the stairs, trying to get a seat to see VP Harris. We both fell, but either way, VP Harris can make an entire convention center run to go see her. Meanwhile, Donald Trump can't even fill up Donald Trump can't even fill up a single stadium. Also, they keep claiming that the crowds are AI at VP Harris's rallies. I don't even know if that's possible. What kind of AI do Republicans think that Democrats have? Because you can't do that yet. You want to talk to MeidasTouch about Kamala Harris? At least they're nice. Sorry, sir. You're good. Yesterday, we talked to some really cool local politicians, a delegate from Virginia, I believe, a delegate from Oklahoma, and all of them just had such unique perspectives on local politics that you won't usually get. See, I think that somebody like, for example, when Pete Buttigieg goes on Fox News, that is the most important thing that can happen. Liberals going into conservative spaces is super important. But when I see these local politicians, the way that they are able to maneuver around in their own districts is so, so nice. And I think it proves that the model of democracy works. That you can have people on a local level. Sorry, one second. Back on the blue carpet, live from the DNC 2024. We talked to Michael Cohen for a bit. We talked to some Gen Z people, Olivia Juliana. We are going to flip to a Okay, I'm about to go live, so let's just have a casual conversation. When did you get into Chicago?
We got in Friday night, so that we
nice.
could relax and actually do a little sightseeing and get unpacked.
What state did you come in from?
We came in from Kansas.
Nice. How was your flight?
It was great. 1 hour quick, up and down, no turbulence. Awesome.
You like Chicago? Isn't it beautiful?
Oh my God, I love Chicago. It's gorgeous.
The skyline at night is so nice.
We did the architectural tour. Buildings are built like art. I love it.
Check out Navy Pier. At Navy Pier at night, you can see, number one, they do fireworks on Saturdays, but number two, the skyline is so beautiful. It's so beautiful at Navy Pier.
It is incredible. I've actually seen the fireworks, one from my hotel room, and then we went and saw them live.
So we are live right now on MeidasTouch. Who am I here with?
You are here with Gina Raimondo. I'm the proud chair of the Kansas Democratic Party.
And Gina, can you explain why you're in such a unique position?
Because I'm the first ever black woman to hold this position. Right now in America, we don't have a single black woman as a governor. We only have one black woman senator, and she was appointed and will not retain that seat after November. There are 7 black women who are all the first ever to chair our state parties as Democrats.
Yeah, and I think representation is incredibly important. I have a personal anecdote. If I know somebody who, say, grew up in a household that wasn't very accepting, but when they see that representation on a Netflix show that Republicans like to rail against, it means a lot to them, and it shows them, number one, it's okay to be yourself, but number two, you can reach these heights. So what does representation mean to you?
Representation means to me that the little black girls that I meet when I'm out campaigning and stumping believe that they can be a part of this country. I believe in this country. It's our responsibility. We all have something to add. But when you don't see someone who looks like you, when I was 5, my kindergarten teacher told me black women can't be president. She actually said black people can't be president. So for me to see someone who's going to aspire to that, and I believe is going to do it, I think I'm doing the same thing when little black girls see me as the state chair leading our party.
That is amazing. Do you think your teacher lived to see the Obama presidency?
I hope she did.
That would be great.
I almost said I hope she didn't, but I hope
chill.
she did.
So I do want to ask you, the energy on the ground is palpable. Can you explain the momentum shift that you felt in America, and especially because you are a black woman yourself, and we now have a nominee? It's so exciting. So just explain to me what this means to you.
It was an instant switch. I was dragging my party and telling them we were going to get across the finish line, stay there, we'll be great. I was cheerleading, and then all of a sudden, everyone was cheerleading. All of a sudden, everyone was screaming and yelling and telling us we could do it. So it was an instant switch. We're all happy.
Instant switch. And you're from Kansas.
I am.
Can you explain to me what's at stake for women in Kansas, women of color in Kansas, if Donald Trump wins? And you guys are a red state either way, but if we're able to someday inch towards a more progressive Kansas, what could that look like?
Well, I will say it's about Kansas. We were the first state to vote after the Dobbs decision to enshrine abortion protection for women.
I was wrong.
Red state Kansas. We led the country. As a matter of fact, every time you hear people talk about referendums, they say if it can win in Kansas, it can win anywhere. So there is a streak in Kansas that says we want freedom. But if Donald Trump becomes president, he can change those laws for everyone. So we need to make sure that and by the way, black women die disproportionately high numbers in childbirth. Abortion is a life issue for black women.
And Donald Trump's entire goal is to strip rights away from people, but minority groups will be affected the most. So when it comes to women of color, they are affected by climate change disproportionately. They're affected by abortion or not having access to abortion disproportionately. Donald Trump wants to strip rights away from anybody. Honestly, even Project 2025 would strip rights away from white people because they want to strip health care away. It is absolutely disgusting. What would be your message to a black American who is disillusioned with our institutions? So if we talk about, like, from my point of view, I'm 21 years old, and when I talk to people who are my age, they say, I believe in climate change. I think we should have more health care, but I just think both sides are the same, so I don't want to vote. How would you go about explaining to a black American both sides are not the same?
I actually had this conversation with my hairstylist before I came to the convention, and she said, oh, they're the same, they're both bad. I took the time to educate her on what was at stake.
What were your arguments?
The arguments, she thought that everyone was the same, all politicians are corrupt, and nobody cared. And what I educated her on was what Donald Trump was going to do to women, to black people, to people like her who are small business owners, that tax breaks are going to go to the wealthiest Americans, that a trickle-down economic system is what was breaking her back. And I had to explain to her that her vote matters. I think we have to tell people they're a part of this. People think someone else is going to do it. Can I leave you with an anecdote real quick?
Yeah.
I'm the daughter of a civil rights activist, and my mom would say to my brothers and I, you guys are too comfortable. So I asked her one day, I said, Mom, wasn't that what the civil rights was about, so your black children and grandchildren would be comfortable? And she said, absolutely not. Don't you dare get comfortable. This country is yours. You have to take care of it. And here I'm going to leave it the visual. Getting comfortable is like coasting, and the physics of coasting is you can never coast up. If you're going to make progress, you got to put energy into it. And if you're coasting, you're lucky if you come to a standstill. And if a force acts on you, you can go backwards. If we allow Donald Trump to get back in that White House, we are going to go backwards. A loss of rights for one or a loss of rights for all. Let me say this to young people. All the things that you take as your rights can be stripped away with the stroke of a pen. I need you. We need you. We need young people. We need young people. We are counting on you. So please get out and vote. Please get involved and do your research.
Was your hairstylist left speechless after that? Did you just shut her down?
I did. As a matter of fact, I said I'm going to come back and make sure you're registered to vote.
And where can people find you?
People can find me at kansasdems.org, or I'm also on all the social medias at Gina Repass.
kansasdems.org or at Gina Repass on all social medias. Thank you. Please keep changing the minds of hairstylists, because it's one at a time. It's one at a time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll chat soon.
Thank you.
See you around. Got some amazing personalities, some amazing interviews on the MeidasTouch channel. This is exclusive. Thank you guys for being here for this. The DNC 2024, the energy on the ground is next level. We're good.
Oh.
It's all good. We're bridging to the next interview. We've got another politician coming up soon, but it's going to take a second. They're currently doing There's currently a politician right over there doing some interviews. We're going to pull her on stream in just 1 second. We're at the blue carpet at the DNC. Who is speaking today? Let's see. The speeches today that we have ahead of us. Let me read this for you guys. I have it pulled up. My Safari. Here's what to expect from day 2 of the Democratic National Convention. We're currently at the United Center for day 2. Brief remarks, or the kickoff day, featured brief remarks from Kamala Harris. Again, like I said, when Kamala Harris started speaking, nobody was expecting it, and everybody ran on stage, or ran to go see her. We currently have somebody joining us on stream right now, a very good friend of mine, somebody that I've become very close with over the past few months. We are joined by Marcus Flowers. How are you doing?
Adam? How's everything going, brother?
Going well. How are you doing at day 2 of the DNC?
Man, let me tell you, I'm still stoked from yesterday. That excitement that was on the floor yesterday, I've never seen anything like it. You know, it's amazing how this race has just turned around and how things are looking. Dems are stoked and they're pumping up, and you can feel it on the floor in the DNC right now. So,
you could also feel it. So you know how VP Harris made a surprise appearance?
Yeah.
We were behind the scenes over here. Everybody started sprinting. Everybody was sprinting up the stairs, sprinting to get a seat. Donald Trump could not mobilize people like that. Donald Trump can't even fill a stadium. And it's interesting. All these people who he says are AI are sprinting up the stairs. So let me ask you, how do you feel about, how do Democrats stop from being put, let me rephrase that. How do Democrats stop themselves from being put on the defense when Donald Trump attacks? Because something that Donald Trump is good at is just throwing stuff at the wall, attacking. And I think something that, let's say, Hillary Clinton's campaign did was always defend. But now we see Kamala Harris unshaken. She's not on defense. In fact, she's on offense, saying that they are weird. So how do you think Democrats can circumvent being put on defense by Donald Trump?
Well, look, there's an old saying in politics, if you're explaining, you're losing. We don't have to explain anything. The choice is clear. We know Donald Trump's track record. All he does is lies. You know, the attacks against Tim Walz and Kamala, they're not going to stick. We're going to run our race. We're going to do what we know. We're going to continue fighting for democracy. You got a felon and you got a prosecutor running for president. That's not a choice, in my opinion. Democracy or not democracy. What do you want? So we don't need to explain anything. Trump can do whatever he wants to do. We're going to take this thing.
All you have to do is put the two candidates side by side, and it becomes incredibly obvious which candidate is better. I always say this, but if you sat down Donald Trump and Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, and you quiz them both on Israel-Palestine, or you quiz them on Ukraine and Russia, Kamala Harris, or even a 110-year-old President Biden, would run circles around Donald Trump because Donald Trump genuinely doesn't have the political knowledge. And I think people need to understand that. How can we explain to Americans, people on the other side of the aisle who are good people, that Donald Trump is a threat to our democracy, that the fake elector scheme, January 6th, these things are antithetical to what America stands for? How do we explain that to somebody who thinks they're a patriot?
Well, I think it starts with a lot of the things that you're doing. One of the things that I do as well is we meet people where they are. We sit down, we have those tough conversations, and we talk about the things that matter to us all. the values that we share as Americans. Forget all the noise that Donald Trump is talking about, because all he's talking about is revenge and how he lost and the election was stolen. That's not putting food on people's tables. That's not putting roofs on over people's heads. That's not lowering the cost of rent. That's not lowering the cost of a new home. Donald Trump doesn't know anything about policy. That's not helping in Gaza and Israel. None of what he's doing is helping move the needle further. And that's what we need to keep looking at and focusing on. And we have those conversations with people, with an administration that's working hard to get a ceasefire in Israel, lower the cost of prescription drugs, lower the cost of rent, and put money back in people's pockets.
And which congressional district do you reside?
I reside right now, as the map is currently drawn, in Georgia's 3rd congressional district.
3rd or 13th?
3rd.
Georgia's 3rd congressional district. And you debated Marjorie Taylor Greene, sorry to say her name, sorry if you get flashbacks.
Who should not be mentioned right now, so we're having too much fun here to talk about
You
Greene.
absolutely rolled her, and you are the perfect example of how you take down the Republican BS. Marjorie Taylor Greene's entire tactic throughout the debate, I watched it, was to throw stuff at the wall, throw lies at the wall, and this kind of goes back to what we were saying. You didn't let it affect you. You didn't go on the defense. You kept staying strong, which is absolutely great. Can I ask you, if you had a direct line to millions of 21-year-olds, people that were my age, how would you convince them to vote? What would be your elevator pitch? Because a lot of my friends say both sides are the same.
Well, again, at the end of the day, both sides aren't the same. You guys, you 21, 22, 23-year-olds, Gen Z, you know what you want for your future. Listen to what the candidates are saying. Who's talking about things that are going to help you in the future, that are going to help you be able to buy a home like your parents did, and are going to help you have a job and stability going forward? And then look at what the other side is talking about. Are they talking about anything that affects your life, that affects your future? No, you're getting revenge and culture wars from that side. You guys are smart, and I love you, but look at our party and look at what we're trying to accomplish.
You're a veteran. How many years did you serve?
9 years in the Army, another 14 years in Defense and Department of State, and a contractor with DOD.
First of all, thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you've done for our country. I really appreciate your voice. Also, how do you feel about Donald Trump's constant attacks? Number one, he made that weird Medal of Honor comment. Cover that.
I mean, it's disgusting. I was at an event today with veterans, and we had a conversation about that, and it got pretty heated. Veterans are not suckers and losers because they swore an oath to the Constitution, something bigger than themselves, fighting for freedom in our country so that you can have a choice. You hear all the time, Republicans will say, or Maga will say, we want smaller government. Well, if you want smaller government, you should stay out of women's health care. You should stay out of throwing away abortion and get out of people's pockets with giving tax cuts to billionaires and not helping the middle class. You're asking for huge government, in my opinion. So if you want smaller government, we're working on the things that actually matter to you. Republicans are they're talking the talk, but they're not walking the walk, as Vice President Harris said so eloquently last night.
And what's your message to black Americans that may be affected by Project 2025 or Donald Trump's apocalyptic policies? Because I'll let you answer.
Project 2025.
Let's hear about it.
Just to sum it up, it's anti-freedom. It's anti-your rights that you have. It's anti-democracy. If you look at it, what they're trying to do is implement a dictator. That's what they're trying to do. And we don't want that. As black people, how do you think that's going to affect us? I'd say really just take a look at it and look at who's really looking after your best interests. And that's our party. And that's what we're here to celebrate tonight.
Absolutely. Marcus Flowers, where can people find you, sir?
So go to, right now I'm running a pack. It's called Hold the Line. So if you go to www.holdtheline, all spelled out, one word, holdtheline.org, you can look up our pack, help us out. We're helping Democrats up and down the ballot this year. Give us some help. We need to flip the House, we need to keep the Senate, and we need to get work done in the next election.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the chat. I appreciate
you,
that. God bless you, and I'll see you around. Let's do it again. That was Marcus Flowers, one of my favorite people. We've gotten really close over the past few months. A great man, served our country. An amazing man, an amazing man. We are live from the blue carpet at the DNC 2024. We have another interview lined up. Give me 1 second. No rush, but we're ready for You Are on Meidas, but no rush. Sorry, just grabbing the politician. Small team, so we're doing it all live. I'd like to welcome Anderson Clayton. How you doing?
Hey, good to meet you.
Describe who you are to the stream and where you're from.
My name is Anderson Clayton. I'm the state party chair in the great state of North Carolina, and I'm from Roxborough, which is a small town in Person County.
And what's so unique about you being the county chair in North Carolina? What's unique about you?
I'm the youngest state party chair in the country, so I'm the only 26-year-old that we have serving in a role like this right now, but I'm hopefully not the last and not the youngest in the next year.
Gen Z is representing at the DNC. We have some of the highest, some of the best Gen Z people here. I want to ask you, there's been a lot of momentum in North Carolina over the past few weeks, ever since VP Harris entered the race. Have you felt that momentum on the ground in North Carolina, and how can we ride this to election day?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with y'all. We felt it even before the switch up, and I think that's important to note because North Carolina has been facing a Republican oppression for the last 13 years in our General Assembly. They've been taking away public school money from our public schools, a state that built public education in the South and in this country, honestly. North Carolina's backbone is public education, and we've had Republicans in our state legislature ripping that away. We've also had an abortion ban that happened last year in our state legislature, and so I really feel like people were mobilized. What I will say, we had 10,000 new volunteers sign up after Kamala Harris became our nominee, and so I think the ground is feeling it more so than ever, especially for the top of the ticket, and to really get the momentum that we need to keep it rolling towards November.
Do you know where people can sign up to volunteer? Do you have the website?
My God, do I ever, Adam. ncdp.org is where you can go. We're also hiring, though, young people to work on college campuses this year because we believe that young people need to be organizing young folks. And
Say it one more time slower.
ncdp.org.
Good.
No, thank you, Adam. I'm a little bit too. I'm practicing for the roll call later. I've got 30 seconds to do it. So
You're good. I just want to make sure that people are able to get it. So, how would you talk to somebody in our generation? You're 26 years old. We're both Gen Z. And I think it's really unique to talk to a young Gen Z woman who is living in a state where your rights are genuinely on the ballot in November. How would you talk to let's say a 22-year-old who is pro-choice, believes in climate change, but thinks that both sides are the same? These people exist.
I would say look at what party right now is stripping away those rights. And for a lot of young folks, especially because of silos of news and everything that you're not hearing right now, a lot of young folks just do not know, honestly. And so a lot of times us on college campuses, we got over 600 commit to vote cards this last weekend from college campuses alone from Welcome Weekend of young people that see that. They see that abortion rights are on the line. They see that climate justice is on the line. They see that workers' rights in North Carolina is on the line. Like $7.25 minimum wage is at the federal level and the state level right now. Most young people are working service level jobs. And so I think it's about talking to them not just about one issue. Young people are not monoliths. They are people that have every issue on the ballot too.
And can I point out the difference between Donald Trump and VP Harris? Donald Trump genuinely has zero policy prescriptions, zero ways. All he does is point out fake problems. He fearmongers. VP Harris just the other day announced a new plan to build 3 million new homes by incentivizing people to build homes for first-time home owners, correct? How do you feel about this plan? Have you read into it?
I have. I'll be honest with you, because I'm not at the homeowner stage of my life yet. I'm at the renter stage of my life. I like the part of her plan the most where she's like, I want to take on the fact that rent caps and actually making it so that local municipalities can do what they need to do to help with the fact that rent in places like Roxborough, where I live right now, is $1,200 a month, and it's the same price that you would find in a place like Durham. And I'm like, that discrepancy should not be there for the difference in the amount of money that people make in those communities. And so I just think giving the autonomy back to the local level, that's a type of policy that I'm really interested in, quite frankly.
And this is the path to making home ownership more accessible for our generation. Donald Trump will stand on stage and he'll fearmonger. He'll point out all of these problems. Meanwhile, VP Harris points out the prescriptions. How do we fix these problems? One more question is, how do we stop Democrats from being on the defense when Donald Trump is constantly attacking us? Something that he's good at is throwing stuff at the wall constantly. Hillary Clinton was on defense a lot. VP Harris is unfazed, right?
No, she is, which is why I'm like, put a prosecutor in, coach! That's what we've done, honestly.
She doesn't care. He can say whatever, and she's not going to bite. She doesn't bite, right?
No, and I think, honestly, she just actually keeps talking about the issues that matter to her the most and that she's heard from young people. And every time she sort of even I think when it comes to issues that maybe people think that Democrats are not the strongest on, I think that Kamala Harris has shown that she can really perform well, especially when it comes to things like immigration, honestly, the economy. You know, this administration is the first one in federal history that's invested into rural economies. Like, the Democratic Party is the one that's revitalizing rural communities right now. And I think she's got the greatest case to make to go out there and say that. $5 million in every county, in every city, or more, depending on where you live right now. Like, you're being invested in as people, and that's what Americans want right now.
Amazing. Thank you for your time. Where can people find you? Shout out the NCDP.
NCDP.
I got it.
No, I love it. You can go to @NCDemParty and follow the North Carolina Dems, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and everywhere else in between.
And what are your social media accounts?
Breeze Clayton on Twitter, and I'm not going to lie to you, I ain't one of those people. I'm not a politician that's got all of them the same. So on Instagram, we're Andy Breeze. There you go.
All good. Thank you for chatting with us.
Thank you.
We'll see you around.
Also, Adam, you do a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, we have to clear the blue carpet for a bit. Let's head over. Let's go. We are live on MeidasTouch. We are live on Adam Mockler. Spam some blue hearts in the chat if you guys appreciate what we're doing. All that I ask is... Wait, one second. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All that I ask is that you spam some blue hearts, you leave a like, you check out Adam Mockler on YouTube. I've just opened a new membership feature throughout the DNC. We're about to show you guys the behind the scenes of the Creator Lounge. We might meet some of your favorite creators in there. Yesterday we talked to Hassan Piker. We talked to Chris Mowry. Today we talked to Harry Sisson. All of your favorite creators are here in one place, and it is amazing. We've got some speeches starting soon, but until then, let's give you guys a little quick tour of the ground. I left my water bottle on the blue carpet. Someone's going to enjoy that water bottle. Some great interviews right there. Just to recap, we talked to Marcus Flowers of Georgia's 3rd Congressional District. We talked to Anderson Clayton, the youngest state party chair of the Democratic Party in North Carolina, or in the entire country, but she lives in North Carolina. And this is what Republicans are up against. Normal people. A convention full of normal people. No Kid Rocks, no Hulk Hogans. We're about to head into the Creator Lounge for a bit. See what we can find in there. This is the behind the scenes of the DNC.
Yeah, I know.
Sweet. In the Creator Lounge, let's see what we can find. It is absolutely packed. What's up? How you doing?
I know.
Excuse me.
Hey, I'm a big fan.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
My name's Julian.
Julian, nice to meet you.
Yeah. Hey, good stuff, man.
Thank you, I appreciate that. We're always live. You want to talk to us for a second again?
Okay, all right. I'm gonna let you.
Were you going to use the space right here? We're live, just filling up airtime. We are back here with Harry Sisson, Gen Z star. How you doing?
I'm great, man. How's the Meidas Mighty? Are they doing well?
They're doing well. How are the Meidas Mighty doing? If you're doing well, drop a blue heart in the chat. Leave a like on the stream. You guys know that we love the blue hearts. How have you been feeling over the past few weeks? Were you depressed like I was like 2 months ago? After the debate, I was pretty depressed.
Look, I think the country just felt generally down. I was still hopeful. I'm always hopeful for this country. I think that we, as we mentioned earlier, we're the best country in the world, and I think we have so much potential. But I will be honest, I think like seeing people rally around Trump is saddening. But now, as we talked about earlier, the vibe is just entirely different. There's been a complete shift and flip.
Hey Nate, do we need to flip around? Is that light bad?
Yeah, we gotta keep the passage.
Okay. We can step out here real quick.
Okay, yeah.
See, this is. Why don't we just do it in front of Fox News?
Let's do it in front of Fox. Look at this, ladies and gents.
We are here with Sean Hannity and Brett Baer in front of Fox News. The communist liberals. No, but this is part of the convention that we're basically our goal is to give an on-the-ground experience, walking around the convention, and part of that is catching the awkward moments. Part of that is catching the failed handshakes or whatever happens, and it's actually beautiful. It's really, really fun. So heading into this election, what do you think the best way to tell people or show people the threat of Donald Trump is, because what I found is that most people don't care about January 6th. They don't care about the threat to democracy. And I guess one way is to find something they truly, really care about. But even then, it's hard to get somebody to bridge that issue, say they care about abortion, to actually going to the polls. So what is your strategy?
Look, for me, in my view, I debate Trump supporters all the time, like virtually every single night. And my strategy was someone who's like, MAGA, but they're not really politically involved, is just like lay it out in the most simple terms.
Mm-hmm.
Like genuinely act as if you're talking to someone who's never talked about politics in their entire life and be like, okay, so you agree with expanding veterans healthcare, you agree with investing in infrastructure, and you also think that like 10-year-old girls should not be forced to give birth.
So you're a liberal.
So the natural conclusion is like Kamala Harris believes in all those things. You know who doesn't believe in those things? Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. So if you just break it down really simply, you don't have to like bring in all the legal cases, the theories behind them and things like that. I think that goes a long way.
Another good method is Socratic questioning. Just asking simple questions that get to the root cause. And I've done this in MAGA rallies before. They say something to the effect of, I'm like, why do you think Donald Trump could win this election when he lost the last election? Like, the last election was rigged. I'm like, but he lost 62 court cases. They're always like, oh, but the judges were rigged. But Donald Trump appointed those. It's always the same exact dialogue tree, which just blows my mind. Republicans are stuck on this dialogue tree, right?
They will always double down. That's what I find. Like with these folks you're talking about, these crazy MAGA Republicans, no matter what facts you present to them, what truth you propose, it's always, well, Donald Trump said it, so I believe him. I'm like, wait, sorry, the guy that told over 30,000 lies during his presidency, that's the most reliable source for information? According to them, it is. And they just keep doubling down and doubling down. It's crazy, man. And you've seen it firsthand.
Absolutely. 1 second, let me just make sure. Cool, so we are currently live. How is the Meidas Mighty doing? I love that you guys are here with us, the DNC 2024. Who are you excited to see speak over the next few days?
Oh, I'm really excited for President Obama tonight and First Lady Michelle Obama. I'm such fans of them. I think they're fantastic, so intelligent, so passionate. So I'm really excited to hear their speeches. But of course, from everybody else, I mean, all these amazing folks that are coming up. And obviously, our amazing Governor Tim Walz and our amazing Vice President Kamala Harris. They're going to be great.
Tim Walz speaks tomorrow?
He does, I believe.
Awesome,
yes. Tim Walz is tomorrow. And I think President Clinton is tomorrow as well.
This is like the Super Bowl for us nerds. We walk around. We met Jessica Tarlov. Super cool moment. My friend Pondering Politics was fanning out. He was blushing, kicking his feet, giggling. Just because Jessica Tarlov. Yeah, it's just really. Yeah, but no, it's really sick. I'm really still looking for Charlie Kirk. I'm looking for Benny Johnson is outside. That'd
outside?
Be fun.
Outside the
Benny
convention?
Johnson has been outside the convention, yeah.
Well, if you find Charlie, let him know I'm also looking for him. I want to see where he's at and maybe get involved. Are you going to do an interview of some kind?
We should do a sit-down with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, we should, absolutely. Get Gen Z at him. Like, throw us at him. Why not?
He could take us. He should be able to.
Yeah, right.
You know what's funny? Yesterday when he got confronted by Parker, what he was saying is, I'm not here to, fight or anything. He's like, I'm just here to learn. You're not here to learn. You're here to stir stuff
Yeah, by
up.
the way, one of the questions he asked Parker was, what's a woman? He just goes back to these culture wars, crap. It's just ridiculous, man. It's insane.
It's insane.
That's what it's all about.
And even Donald Trump has said something to the effect of, he was at a rally one time and he was saying, every time I talk about trans issues, the entire crowd lights up. Every time I talk about economics, everybody goes quiet. So the Republican Party right now is latched on to these culture war issues online. One of my first ever viral MAGA clips was me talking to a Trump supporter, and I said, what % of Americans do you think are transgender? He said 20%. That means 1 in 5 people you'd walk past would be transgender. That means trans people pass so well that you don't even know that out of those 5 people, 1 is trans. So that's like a pro-trans argument. Which, how do we defeat this culture war stuff and move back to actual policies?
Well, look, again, I think that what you mentioned about the Socratic kind of questioning always reveals what their actual intentions are. So you say oh, you actually kind of align with Kamala Harris's politics. She's like, oh, well, no, she's turning my kid gay in school. It's like, okay. So for those people, I'm not sure if there's hope for them. But I do fundamentally believe that a lot of Americans out there really care about the issues. You talk about reproductive rights, you talk about healthcare, you talk about infrastructure. They actually care about that. And they don't care about my math teacher is turning me trans. I mean, give me a break,
Harry Sisson, where can people find you?
Thank you. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, all just under my username, Harry J. Sisson.
Harry J. Sisson on all social media platforms. Check him out. Gen Z is going to dominate. We are going to take over our institutions, and we are not going to cede a single inch to the MAGA movement. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you around. You too. We're going to continue walking around the DNC 2024. Give me 1 second. We're in front of the Fox News. Is this even legal? Is it legal for us to be standing here? Yeah. Meidas Mighty, how is everything doing? How is everybody doing? Wild? Okay, let's keep going. So it's going well? Cool, guys. Something interesting is I have no way to really monitor if everything is, so if chat is liking something or not liking something, I don't know. So right now we're just kind of going on the fly, seeing how everything's, let's see if we can go find a Charlie Kirk or a MAGA Republican of that type. We are currently behind the scenes near the media booths. Show that booth right there, pretty cool stuff. They're doing some interviews. iHeartRadio up there. We've got surrogates and politicians taking pictures. Excuse me, sir. We're going to be setting up an interview with David Hogg very soon here.
Have you seen any in here?
President Barack Obama will be speaking at the DNC tonight. It's going to be powerful. Easily a once-in-a-generation speaker. Barack Obama is like what Donald Trump thinks he is. Barack Obama is the best speaker, who's charismatic, who actually cares about people. Donald Trump has the charisma of a wet sock. How you doing?
How's it going? I'm Matt.
Matt?
Yeah, I think we're mutual. So
You want to talk to us?
No, I'm working right now, but
Cool.
yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah. You want to talk to MeidasTouch about Kamala Harris?
Sure.
Cool. What happened? Are we good?
30 seconds.
Give us 30 seconds. How have you been, sir?
I'm great.
Who am I here with?
Nick Knudsen.
Nick. And when did you come into the DNC? Did you come into Chicago yesterday?
Here on Sunday.
Sunday. How have you liked Chicago so far?
It's one of my favorite cities in the world, so I'm glad that it was here.
One of your favorite cities. So what brings you to the DNC?
I'm here as a creator.
A creator? Where do you create? What platform?
I'm on Twitter and TikTok mainly.
Where can people find you?
At Nick Knudsen US.
Nick Knudsen US.
Yep.
Interesting. So Nick, what issues are most important to you when you think about the 2024 election? What issues do you talk about on your platforms?
I talk a lot about income inequality. It's a major problem in this country. The wealth has been amassed by a tiny number of people, and it's crushing everybody else, and we have to do something about it.
And all of Donald Trump's policies are only conducive to widening the wealth gap in America, which is sickening. Can you explain why Democrats are the ones to fix this wealth gap problem through just redistribution of wealth?
Yeah, I mean, it's what we need to do. So, if Donald Trump wins again, he's just going to double down on his tax cuts from his first term, extend those, make them bigger. That's going to put more money in the pockets of the ultra wealthy. If Kamala Harris wins and we can flip the House and keep the Senate, then Democrats can pass much more progressive taxation legislation.
That is my exact argument. When I'm talking to people who are 21, I say, you don't have to think VP Harris is perfect, but if you vote in this election, you are able to secure our institutions for decades to come. You are making sure that in 2050, we're able to pass massive climate change reform, pass massive education, gun reform. How have you felt about this momentum switch over the past few weeks?
It's been fun. I will say, there are 2008 vibes in this building.
Were you depressed after the debate? Were you like I didn't sleep that night? Were you the same way?
I was very concerned. I was in Baltimore at the Netroots convention, and I was having some drinks with some people, and we were worried. We were very worried. So seeing the uptick in enthusiasm since Kamala Harris has been passed the torch. Thank you very much, Joe Biden. We're feeling a lot better.
Thank you, sir. And I hope you enjoy the convention.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good day. We are live right here. Is everything good on the feed? 1 second. We have somebody. This might be a face that you guys recognize. Is the ingest good, Nate? Should be. Who are we here with?
Hi, Hello, I am Lee McGowan, but you probably know me as Politics Girl.
And Lee, what brings you to the DNC in 2024?
Honestly, I was invited, and I love politics, and I've never done this on the ground stuff. It's not normally what I do. You know, I'm in my kitchen all the damn time, and then I'm in the podcast studio, but this kind of live action gives me a sense of, I get to do a bigger picture of it, and then, you know, relate it to our audience, which I think is kind of the point. If you don't get to come, how would you know?
By the way, I love the stuff you make in your kitchen. I want to ask you, what are the top 3 issues on your head heading into this election? Hold this for 1 second.
Well, obviously, do you want me to hold it?
Yeah, just 1 second.
Obviously, women's rights, women's reproductive freedoms. We cannot stop until we get them back. I think it's ridiculous that we're living in a country right now where they've stripped half of the country of their rights. It doesn't matter if it's only in red states right now. We know that there's going to be a national ban. Right at the top of the list there, my own personal rights, the rights of all the women in America. And then I would say democracy in general. We can see that from Project 2025, what the Republicans are planning for this nation, and what I should say the Maga Republicans are planning for this nation, is nothing short of a complete government takeover and a top-down authoritarian-style government, and we can't have that at all. So that would be my number 2. And then number 3 would probably be workers' rights. I mean, one party is very anti-worker. They would be very happy to round up immigrants, apparently, and put them into camps. And those camps, they're not just going to sit there. They're going to be work camps. There's no way they're not going to be, which is sort of how our prison system works, and I have no interest in that. I think workers' rights, union rights, the rights of people. If anything, you look at the Republican Party right now, and they're trying to roll us back. I keep saying they're trying to stuff us back into a time machine before women's rights, before civil rights, before gay rights, and before workers' rights. And so we have absolutely no interest in that. And those would be my 3 biggest issues. But, you know, I'm a democracy nerd. So at the end of the day, I want it to work. And I want it to work because the people came out and said, we're not having this, and here's where we want to go.
And bringing it back to democracy, not only would democracy at home be at stake because of Donald Trump's constant attempts to entrench his power as the President of the United States, but democracy abroad would be at stake. He would cede land to Russia. He would probably abandon Taiwan. Donald Trump would ruin all of the alliances that we've spent decades building up. Right now, the NATO is stronger than it's been since the dissolution of the Soviet Union, and that is because of Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is a better advocate for NATO than any American citizen can ever be, than Zelensky can ever be, because of his and the thing is, to bring it back, Donald Trump only emboldens people like Xi Jinping, people like Vladimir Putin, with his authoritarian rhetoric, with this consistent undermining of these unspoken norms across the globe, and it just blows my mind. What would be your message to a woman in America who doesn't think that voting matters, thinks that both sides are the same? And these people exist. I talk to them all the time. Even my friends say both sides are the same. What would you say to them?
Yeah. Well, first of all, both sides, it doesn't exist. There is no both sides. You have to think about, I always say, not paying attention to politics doesn't mean politics doesn't affect you. It means you can't affect it. Saying, I don't really care about politics, I'm not doing anything about politics, it's not my jam, I don't care. The thing is that politics affects every single aspect of your life, from how fast you can drive to whether you live through a pandemic, and recently, if you are a woman in America, if you have the right over your own body. So you have to care about politics, because if you care about politics, you at least have a way to fight back. You're talking about around the world, democracy around the world. Ultimately, people that say, you know, if this goes wrong, I'll just move. I'll go to Spain, I'll go to Portugal, whatever. Where in the world do you think you are safe from an authoritarian America? An America, a country that spends more than the next 9 countries combined on the military. You give that country the power of a dictator, the power of Putin, the power of a Xi, you're not safe anywhere in the world. So you may as well stay here where we are and fix it, because that's what we have to do. And yeah, Donald Trump doesn't want to help our alliances around the world. In fact, what he wants to do is form new alliances with people who think like he does. And that is like a dictator. And we don't need America to be aligned with the dictators of the world. We need America to be the shining beacon of democracy that it's supposed to be.
First of all, I've seen like 4 people walk past and just go, oh my God, it's Politics Girl. But also, not only would Donald Trump essentially, let me see how I can word this. What were you just talking about Donald Trump? Not only does he undermine
He aligns himself with the dictators.
That's where I was heading. He not only does he align himself with the dictators of the world, but if we think about the way his second term would go, he would put people around him that align with him so perfectly. For example, J.D. Vance said he would not have certified the results in the same way that Mike Pence did. So when we're talking about the real threat of a second Trump term, it's that he actually learned from his first term. He doesn't learn often, but he learned that if he stuffs loyalists around him, people like J.D. Vance, people like Rudy Giuliani or Mike Lindell, people that will follow him to the edge of a cliff, that is how he can further this democratic backsliding in America. And my worry is that people think a second Trump term will be like the first Trump term, the guardrails will hold. It won't be like that, right?
No, first of all, I don't think people should look at it like the second Trump term. There will be nothing after the second Trump term. We will never have free and fair elections again the way we think of them. We will have elections like they have in Russia, where we have an election, but we know who's going to win. The thing is, I don't think Donald Trump himself got any smarter. I think that the people around him got smarter. Donald Trump didn't choose those Supreme Court justices. The Federalist Society did. Donald Trump didn't write Project 2025. The Heritage Society, the Heritage Foundation did. Yep. And so he has surrounded himself with people who are smarter than him, have more ambition than him, and he just wants to be Mr. Man in charge, and the worst people in the universe will be running our country. And these are people that are worse than Steve Bannon. These are people that are just out here to, as Steve Bannon said, burn it all down. He's a Leninist. He wants to burn it all down and rise something out of the ashes that we wouldn't even hope to recognize. And I think we need to take that really, really seriously. Because at the end of the day, are you willing to take that risk? That your vote doesn't matter? That we're not going to end up in that world? Because honestly, I'm not. And I'm going to work really hard to make sure other people aren't either.
Now, you name-dropped Project 2025, so I want to end this with talking about Project 2025. Let's pick apart Donald Trump's argument that he has nothing to do with it. I'll start. First of all, Donald Trump has been seen mingling with the president of the Heritage Foundation many times. People around Donald Trump have said the Heritage Foundation provides the guideposts for Republican policy. You know what else?
Yeah, listen, Donald Trump is a liar, period, the end. He's lying about knowing about Project 2025, just like he was lying about knowing about the guy who talked about his policies, saying he's just a coffee boy. Anyone that Donald Trump wants to distance himself from, he suddenly doesn't know anymore. He knows very well who the Project 2025 people are, who the Heritage Foundation people are. We all know that J.D. Vance is actually probably the placeholder. If I were Donald Trump, quite frankly, I would look out for open windows if I won this election, because they don't need Donald once they won the election. They need J.D. Vance. He's an empty vessel for them to fill whatever they want from the Heritage Foundation, from the Federalist Society, from every single terrible project you can ever think of in the history of this world. So I think we just have to be really careful.
MeidasTouch.
It's serious. I've lost him. This is my show now. Welcome. I should just talk about the kitchen. Listen, I have to tell you guys, since I'm here, this is an amazing organization, and it's very smart that they invited creators here, because we're seeing things in real time in a way that we've never been able to do before.
I'd like to really quickly pull in the former mayor of Los Angeles. How, sir? Who am I speaking to today? Introduce yourself to the live stream.
Antonio Villaraigosa.
You were the mayor of LA.
Mayor of LA, Speaker of the Assembly, Chair of the Democratic Convention in 2012, and I'm running for Governor of California.
You are live on MeidasTouch in front of the Meidas Mighty. Say hello.
Meidas Mighty Touch.
Meidas
Mighty Touch listeners and watchers and everything else. We got to vote. Let's vote for democracy. Let's vote for health care. Let's vote for a woman's reproductive freedoms. Let's vote for sensible gun laws. Let's vote to take on climate change. And if you're voting for all of that, vote for Kamala Harris.
Vote Kamala Harris. That is an incredibly powerful message. I want to plug vote.org. Vote.org is where you can go. Make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure your friends and family are registered. And make sure your friends and family have a ride to the polls on November 5th. How have you felt about this momentum shift? Have you felt it over the past few weeks?
Well, my first convention was 1984. And hearing Jesse Jackson and Mario Cuomo speak at that convention was a great and proud moment. And I've been to many conventions, but I'll tell you, not since President Obama in 2008 have I felt the kind of energy I'm feeling right now. And never have we felt that concentrated energy in such a short period of time. To go from mostly losing across the country to mostly winning now, raising $500 million, 22,000 volunteers in Florida. There's a sense that we got the right candidate at the right time to lead our nation forward.
I absolutely 100% agree. What would your message be to somebody my age? I'm 21 years old. A lot of people my age don't want to vote this election cycle. How do you explain to people that if we don't vote, the very institutions that make our country function may not be there for us?
First of all, I understand why young people feel alienated right now, why they feel like neither party represents them sometimes. You know, when it used to be that home ownership, as an example, was part of the American dream. Now just renting an apartment, you know, a couple hours from your job with 3 or 4 roommates is part of that dream. You know, the high cost of education, the fact that and people feel like they're not getting enough with that investment. I could see why young people feel like, you know, I'm not sure I'm voting, but I'll tell you something. In a democracy, with democracy on the ballot, you need to vote. And then you need to hold us accountable. Hold us accountable to the notion that healthcare ought to be a right, that we got to take on climate change with the gusto that it requires, with a sense of urgency and treat it like an emergency, that we got to deal with the high cost of a college education and the lack of training programs for good middle-class jobs. I think that's what young people are looking for, and I'll tell you, that's what we better deliver.
The mayor of Los Angeles, thank you, sir. I really appreciate your time. Where can people find you?
People can find me. Where?
AntonioForCalifornia.com.
AntonioForCalifornia.com. He knew it. He was just testing his aid.
I was testing him.
Just testing.
But also, my email is Antonio@Villaraigosa.com. I'll give you my cell number if you want it.
No, do not do that.
But thank you. Thank you for doing what you're doing, exciting young people with the MeidasTouch.
Thank you so much. MeidasTouch. There you go, Meidas Mighty. We are headed to the blue carpet to talk to the good liars. Let's go. Sorry, let me squeeze you through here. Sorry, sir. If you want to watch the live stream.
Thank you.
Cameraman Nate. Big shout out to cameraman Nate and Ben. Ben, thank you so much. We have cameraman Nate and escort Ben. Ben is escorting us around the place. Cameraman Nate is making sure that all of the... My bad, sir. Making sure that all the technical equipment is good.
Everybody in the chat, don't worry, we're going to have Politics Girl back on again.
Everybody in chat, Politics Girl is coming back on. Don't be too angry. Please don't be angry. Excuse me. We're not done with Politics Girl, guys. We still have 2 more days of the convention, and we will talk to her again tonight. We've passed her like 4 times. On to the blue carpet. Let's see if we're able to squeeze on here. Are we able to get through?
I think we gotta wait till 5:30.
You want to do it in front of that board over there real quick?
Yeah, is this live?
Yeah, we're live. It'll take 1 second. Fuck it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. I just want to chat with you.
If you could recite the Bill O'Reilly.
How old do you think I am, man?
Everyone has YouTube.
Yeah, true.
If you could recite the Bill O'Reilly Inside Edition, whole tantrum right now.
What do I get?
I will give you $5 out of my wallet. $5.
What does it start? So he starts off, he's mad at the teleprompter's not working.
To make sure
he's mad the teleprompter's not working, and he says something to the effect of, I don't know. He's like, get the screen going. After a few seconds, he's like, F it, we're doing it live. We're doing it live.
F it. No, you have to say it verbatim.
On MeidasTouch, they won't like that.
You can't say the F-U-C-K. You can't.
You absolutely can. You
okay.
can.
Okay.
But
right.
can I ask you?
Yes.
We've been to how many Maga rallies have you been to? Have you lost track?
I don't know. I don't know. The first one we went to was in January of 2016.
Wow.
And it was in a small, I think it was a funeral home.
Wow.
actually a funeral home in like Windsor, New Hampshire, or something like that. And then we ended up now he's doing them, in huge arenas and also in these giant outdoor venues. Like it's wild. It was big from the beginning, but now it's like you've seen. You go there, it's still tens of thousands.
So
of
you've
people
watched the movement grow and grow.
Yes, yeah.
So I want to talk to you about some journey that I've been on through MAGA rallies. Do you ever feel a level of empathy for the people that have been misled into voting against their own interests? I think it's really easy when we go on Twitter to think that everybody on the other side is evil or whatever, but then when you talk to these people in person, it's like my aunt or my uncle who has just been misled into voting against their own interests. For example, we were at a Trump rally a few weeks back. This lady needed health care for her son who was autistic. That's all she needed. Her son needed health care, and when I explained to her that Democrats are the ones who want to provide the bare minimum level of health care, she said that's communism. So do you ever feel empathy? Like, what is your thought process on the field?
Well, obviously, you can't.
Empathy. You don't feel empathy.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go to all these rallies and meet all these people. And Trump says the same thing. It's like I like a lot of the people we talk to. Like some people I don't like who are saying really terrible things, horrible racist things, homophobic things like that. But a lot of the people you talk to, you're like, I like this person. I actually like this person. And yes, of course you have to have empathy. At the end of the day, I think after Butler, were you in Butler?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. We left before the shooting, but after, when we heard about it, like our immediate impulse was like, I hope everybody that we talk to is okay.
That's fucked up.
I do not want anyone, like, the last thing you want is for anyone to be hurt or anything like that. So, of course, feel empathy for the people going out there. All these MAGA rallies. I know some of the vendors now. Brian Glenn, if you're watching, Brian and I are buddies now. I pranked him last year or something, but now we're buddies.
It would have been funny if you're like, I'm a sociopath. I don't really care about these people.
I'm a mass murderer, actually.
But yeah, it does feel like the MAGA rallies, there is a change in vibes over the past few months or years. I feel like the movement is beginning to die out. People are beginning to realize that it's not sustainable.
I don't know. I feel like you just said it before. You're younger than I am. I'm not going to count Donald Trump out of this because I think we've learned anything in the past 9 years. It's you count him out and he comes back. I thought after January 6th, we were there on January 6th, I thought it was over. And I think all the politicians denouncing him, or soft denouncing him, I thought it was over then, but it's not over. So I'm not counting any chickens before they're
Now he's got the Supreme Court on his side. He's got Congress wrapped around his finger. Thank you. I'm going to let you get back to DeVrom. Is that how you say DeVrom? Stiefler? I got it right.
You got the last name wrong. DeVrom Stiefler.
Stiefler, my bad.
Right.
Jason Selvig?
Yeah.
Jason Selvig on the stream. The Good Liars, one half of the Good Liars. Thank you, man.
Hey, tell everybody at Midas I said hi.
Hey, to the Midas brothers. They love all of you. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah,
they all love you. Ben, Brett, Jordy. Yeah, they all love you.
Yeah.
Salty, Jeremy, Hayden. Call Jason. He misses you. See you, man.
We're taking 45 off air.
45-minute break?
Seconds.
So, first of all, while the stream is getting started, when did you get into Chicago?
I got into Chicago Sunday.
Sunday. How do you like it so far?
Oh, I'm loving it. I love Chicago, one of my favorite cities.
What state do you come from?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. How is it down there right now?
It's nice. The weather is cooling off, and a little bit of breeze, little cool clouds. It's going good down there.
Chicago's beautiful, though, right?
Yeah, Chicago.
Skyline at night. Check it out.
The skyline is amazing here in Chicago.
So, can I ask you, how do you feel about VP Kamala Harris being our nominee, about to break through another glass ceiling?
I am so excited. You know, I heard Hillary speak last night, and Hillary has cracked the ceiling. So Kamala is about to break the ceiling, and I'm so excited about her being the first woman president for these United States. I'm excited.
It is going to be insane, and it feels like right now MAGA Republicans are struggling to punch back. VP Harris is calm, controlled. She's not biting on any of the attacks, and meanwhile, MAGA Republicans are floundering around with racist attacks, sexist attacks. How does it make you feel when people attack VP Harris based on her identity rather than policy?
Well, because that's what the Republican Party is.
Yep.
They are about identity, and they want to keep it nice and pure and white and Caucasian and rich. And Kamala wants the people of America. America was discovered because we did not want dictatorship. We did not want monarchy. We wanted to have the freedom. And that's what Kamala brings to all of America. And those persons that have come to our country, including ourselves, they have the opportunity to thrive if that's what they want to do, and that's what America was built on.
That is an amazing answer, and Donald Trump is the antithesis of that. Everything America was built on, including the Constitution, equality, being a melting pot, Donald Trump wants to strip that away, and Republicans have the goal to claim that they are the party of the Constitution, or vets. In the same vein, it seems like Donald Trump is attacking Tim Walz on his service, or J.D. Vance is also attacking Tim Walz. How do you think veterans in America will react to that?
Well, I think veterans are smart, and I think the fact that they hear Trump over and over again attack them, and that he has no filtering for his mouth is because all of his life he's had the freedom to do just that. But when you get on the stage of representing America, you cannot have that kind of filter because there's all kinds of people in America, and every person is a human being, and every person has the right to live and make the choices that they want. You know, I consider myself halfway Christian, right? Always trying to be a good Christian. The Bible says that you have free will. So whatever people wants to do, they have the free will to do it. There's none of us here on earth can put us in a heaven or a hell. So people have to make their own choices, and when they make their choices, they have to be willing to stand with them on the day of death. And we don't know what that offers.
Amazing answers. Thank you for being here in Chicago with us at the DNC.
Yes.
The Meidas Mighty will appreciate this. We'll love you. Can people find you? Do you have any social medias or any websites or a book or anything you want to shout out?
I do not have social media. I am over 60 and I'm not there. But thank you very much.
You don't look a day over 40, so have a good day. Let's head to the Creator Lounge and let's take a seat for a bit. We've been on the go for like 2.5 hours. Nice to see you again.
I dropped your fucking card. Give it back. As soon as you gave it to me, I ran to Charlie Kirk.
Really?
I test him out, dude.
Really? You get it on camera?
Yeah. Great. Hi, great seeing you. All right, bye.
Charlie Kirk has a target on his back. We're heading to the Creator Lounge just to sit down for a minute. We're going to give cameraman Nate and escort Ben a quick break. Maybe I need a new name. Crooked Media. I like it. Passing all of the Crooked Media folks. You ready to take a seat in the Creator Lounge? Oh, is it hot in there still? Amazing energy at the DNC this year. I'm loving it. Thousands, tens of thousands of journalists coming from all across the country. Excuse me. excuse us.
So you can watch from.
No. Oh yeah, JoJo from Jers. Let's go sit over here. We've got excuse me.
Well, he runs Twitter. But you're on Twitter too. Yeah, I'm on Twitter. Yeah, my father went Twitter.
Hey, can we sit down right here for a second? Can we sit here and do an interview? We're about to be live with Jared Moskowitz. I'm Adam Mockler from MeidasTouch. We've been trying to coordinate for a few days. We're live on Meidas right now. You want to take a seat and chat?
Sure. Oh, boy.
And it'll be quick and easy.
I'm on the couch. I feel like I'm about to tell you all of my problems.
So, introduce yourself to the live stream first and foremost.
Hey, live stream. Jared Moskowitz from South Florida, Florida District 23.
You guys know who he is. He's a Meidas regular. Appreciate you having me. So, when did you get in Chicago?
I got here Sunday night.
You like it so far?
So far, I mean, the weather's amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And I think they're doing a really good job, not just at the convention, but I think the city has done a really good job. There was a lot of concern about that, but actually props to the city. I think they've done a good job so far.
Check out the skyline at night. Go to the Navy Pier and check out the skyline if you have time. It's absolutely beautiful. That's all I recommend. Let's talk politics.
Oh, okay.
As we head into the 2024 election, what issues are most important to you personally?
Well, look, obviously being from Parkland, graduating from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, I think most important to me is gun violence prevention. 17 people died in my high school. And so I think, that's something that young people want to see. Also, look, the cost of living is very expensive. The economy, we got to make sure that we're talking. That's a very important message to be getting out. That we got to make sure that we reduce food costs and we reduce the cost of living.
And the Democratic Party is the party that is taking actual steps to do that. For example, VP Harris just released a plan to build 3 million new units and incentivizes builders to sell to first-time homeowners, correct? That is actually how you make progress in this country as opposed to Donald Trump, who's always yapping.
Yeah, like she has a plan. And so, look, people might not like every little aspect of the plan, but that's okay. We'll work that out as it goes through the House and it goes through the Senate. But at least she has a plan. She said, here's the issue, and here's the plan. Donald Trump has no plans. He's busy talking about how he's prettier than Kamala Harris. He's much better looking than her. That's what he's focused on. I'm sure that's what the American people are going to vote on, whether or not Donald Trump thinks, he's better looking than Kamala Harris. What a weird thing to say.
I was voting for Kamala until I heard she had AI crowds. I don't know.
By the way, the AI crowds are amazing. Hey, props to her AI team. They're crushing it.
Really good stuff. So I want to ask you, what is your solution to the gun problem in America? Because it is so ingrained in American culture that if you even say gun reform, Republicans lose their mind and think Joe Biden's going to burst through the front door and rip it out of their hands personally. That's not the case. So can you explain to Republicans who are watching that we just want to have common sense regulations?
Yeah, follow the Florida model. Florida, red Florida, right? Ron DeSantis is governor. Donald Trump has won it twice. In Florida, we raised the age to 21 to buy a gun. We have red flag laws in Florida, 3-day waiting periods. Those red flag laws in Florida have been used 19,000 times in the last 6 years. So 19,000 times law enforcement figured out that someone was too dangerous or was a danger to themselves or a danger to others to have those weapons. And so we can have meaningful reform. There isn't one thing to do to fix the problem. I think red flag laws would be a big deal, right? Because law-abiding citizens are left alone. People who are a danger to themselves might commit suicide, domestic violence, might want to kill their spouse, or might want to commit, obviously, a mass shooting. We're seeing red flag laws work. There are no protests in the street in Florida that you can't go buy a gun or that your Second Amendment rights are being infringed. And so there is a path to, I think, protecting the Second Amendment, but also making sure you can go to the movie theater, the grocery store, and school and be safe.
Incredibly well said. And I think one of the most disgusting parts about Donald Trump's 2024 platform is his plan to deport 11 to 15 to 20 million illegal immigrants, as he calls them. The number keeps changing.
It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's never going to happen. By the way, why didn't he do that in his first term?
And can I say...
Why didn't he do it? He talked about doing that in his first term, and he didn't do it. It's a lie, and he knows it's a lie, but, that's what he's using as a wedge issue to try to get himself elected.
Even beyond that, how do you do that without violence breaking out, number one? How do you do it without accidentally deporting American citizens, as people have done in the past? And how do you do it without tanking the economy? Obviously, the economy is not the most important part there, but Donald Trump's plan it's a lie. He is totally lying.
Well, and we're not being honest, right? Obviously, we're for legal immigration. We want people to get in line and go through the process. Also, we want to make sure if you're escaping persecution, America has always been that beacon. We want to make sure, again, there's a process for asylum. Okay. We got to make sure that our immigration policies get more organized, and that's why I'm for immigration reform. But this idea that all of a sudden we're going to go to the agricultural industry or the construction industry and round all these people up, you will bring the economy to a halt if you do that, okay? And so they're not being honest. They're lying about where these people are working. If you remove them, you're going to have industries have complete problems.
And Trump claims to care about the border, but what happens when Langford introduces a bill? Donald Trump
kills it.
Donald Trump kills it.
And then he said, blame me. He literally said, hey, blame me. Because I want to use it as an election issue.
And people have come out. Hasn't Mitch McConnell literally said, yeah, it was Donald Trump's fault? But MAGA Republicans just want to cover their eyes and be blind.
They were proud about it.
It's insane to me. They are the antithesis of everything that America stands for. I think Democrats really need to reclaim patriotism, reclaim the American flag, reclaim our love for veterans, because we are the patriotic party. Republicans say they're patriots. They want to undermine the peaceful transfer of power. They want to terminate the Constitution. It makes zero sense whatsoever.
Yeah, remember when he tweeted that out? Remember when Trump tweeted out we should bypass the Constitution? And everyone was like, whoa, take that one down.
Chill out there, buddy. So what would be your message to somebody that's 21 years old, my age, who's disillusioned with our institutions? A lot of my friends, I talk to them, they say, I believe in climate change, I believe in gun reform, I believe in marriage equality, but both sides are the same. These people exist, and how would you break through to them?
You first got to play the game, right? If you want to win, you got to play the game. Sitting out on the sidelines is not playing the game, okay? And yeah, look, both parties have problems, right? Nothing's perfect. This idea that there's some perfect solution out there for you or the perfect candidate exists. Joe Biden has a really great quote, right? He says, don't compare me to the almighty, compare me to the alternative. And the two parties are not the same, right? Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are not the same. Even if you don't agree with everything that Kamala Harris stands for, she is not the same for Donald Trump. It is a binary choice. You have to pick. And don't stand on the sidelines. If you stand on the sidelines, you're letting someone else make the decision for you. You're letting your neighbor or the person who lives down the hall from you that you hate is making the decision for you. So go out, make your own decision, and vote.
Did you also cry during President Biden's speech last night?
I did not cry.
Oh, me neither. Yeah, never mind then. I didn't cry either. Who are you excited to see?
My eyes were tearing because of the late hours.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, who are you most excited to see over the next few days?
Oh, look, I'm very excited to hear from President Obama. He just has a unique ability as a communicator, bridging kind of different generations to kind of bring it all together. I mean, again, I think Hillary Clinton was amazing yesterday. AOC's speech was awesome, but I think Hillary was amazing, reminding us we're on the precipice of history, right? That's not what this election is about. It's about defeating Donald Trump. But the idea that this is history, I think is very important. I think Obama is going to remind us what's at stake in this election.
And finally, I just want to say to the Midas Mighty watching, all we can say is go to vote.org, make sure you're registered to vote, make sure your friends and family have a plan to vote. What would you urge them to do? What do you want to say to the Midas Mighty?
Vote early.
Vote early.
Vote early. Don't even wait for Election Day, right? All your states have options, whether it's absentee voting or it's early voting. Go vote early. Don't wait for Election Day.
Thank you, sir. I hope to do it again.
You got it.
Have a great day. You're good.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're chilling in the Creator Lounge currently. You want to hop on for? You want to hop on for a second?
Election is going to go a certain way, so I'm not going to participate. We don't know where this election is going to go in terms of
Recurring guest JoJo from Jers.
Where am I looking? Oh, right there. Hi.
What is up? How you doing?
Hi, I'm great. This is Politicon is off the charts.
So we talked yesterday. We talked about who were you excited to see.
Yeah.
You said you were going to cry during President Biden's speech.
Oh, I cried. I ugly cried. I ugly cried.
Really? Interesting.
Woo! It was like one of those. Yeah, bad.
He killed it, though. He walked on stage, and he absolutely ripped it. He told his story in politics.
Yeah.
He told his story about why he decided to run in the 2020 election, even after his son had died just a few years prior, which is absolutely heartbreaking. But it almost was like the beginning of his exit in American politics. He's beginning his entry. What did you take away from his speech?
Well, there was that. So he also, if you look at the transcript, he laid out his legacy, right? He laid out the things he's done over his 50 years of service. He laid out the reason for why he ran in 2020, which was Charlottesville, which is when he heard Donald Trump say that the people carrying the tiki torches yelling, Jews will not replace us, were very fine people. So he laid all of that out. He also laid out his vision for the future that he's not done fighting for or working towards. So there was all of that. So it was also like, I would like very much for the American people to hear my record, my legacy, the things I know I've accomplished, And when he said, I'm not finished yet, but he said, I've done my best for the American people. I've done my best for you. That is absolutely the truth. Up until this moment in time, where he stepped aside, when no one else would have stepped aside for our country, for democracy, so that we could move forward and have events like this. It was absolutely incredible. But the number one takeaway for me, I think the reason that it was important personally for him to be the keynote speaker on the first night of this convention was that he needed to say, not goodbye. Right? It wasn't, I don't think of it as the passing of the torch, not I'm stepping aside forever, I'm not out of your lives. It was, he began a sentence, and last night was the comma, and now Kamala is going to finish that sentence for the American people.
Did you just come up with that on the spot? That's really
I've been thinking about it all morning.
Okay, because that was really good.
All morning.
I want to ask you, this is kind of a side question, have you ever gotten recognized in public?
A couple of times here. Yeah. I mean, this is Politicon, right?
No, but outside of this?
Yeah, and it's weird because a lot of times with my kids, and they're always like, that's so weird.
No, that's awesome.
It's awesome, but here's the thing. I'm a mom. Yeah. I'm a mom. I live in the suburbs. I live a real life. I do this stuff and talk about this stuff and tweet about this stuff and write about this stuff because I believe it, because it impacts me, but I love this country.
And that's really important because a lot of times I feel like sometimes mainstream journalists, and I don't want to generalize, can be out of touch. So having people with platforms like you, just somebody who doesn't live in, I don't know.
I don't live in D.C.
Yeah.
I don't live in the bubble.
Exactly. Just having people who can have their voice. I grew up in Indiana. with a bunch of Republican friends around me, and I was the only liberal. And the fact that I can go to MAGA rallies now and kind of recreate that model and be the only liberal in a group of MAGA supporters is really awesome. And I think it's great that social media allows us to have a voice and that the DNC gave us a space to let our voice be heard.
I think it's so important that the DNC did that. I think it's so important that the campaign recognizes the value of independent creators because, like you said, what diversity, the tapestry of thought is good for the American people. It's good for society because it shows you that there are a lot more things we have in common than we don't. Because if somebody else is out there and you would never have talked to that person before, but they say something, you're like, that's something I feel, that's something I care about that.
Yep.
That's when you grow and change and evolve for the better as a society.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, thank you, JoJo.
Thank you.
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Okay.
Daily live stream segment, let's do it.
Okay, bye.
See you.
Girl, me too. Bye. See you later.
See ya. Give me 1 second.
That's all right.
Give me 1 second, guys. We've been going for 3 hours straight. Let me just check my feed for 1 second. How's everybody feeling today? Everybody in chat, drop me a blue heart if you're feeling good. Watching from Maryland. Hell yeah. This has been an amazing stream. Absolutely.
I'm Jesse Anderson. I just wanted to say hi to you.
Awesome. Yeah, we follow each other.
Yeah, I thought so.
We are currently live on stream. Do you want to talk real quick?
Okay.
It'll be quick and easy. Very conversational.
Great.
We follow each other on social media, I believe, but I follow a lot of people, so just explain to me, and so do you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So explain to me and explain to the stream who you are, where you come from.
Okay, so I'm Jesse Anderson. I come from Virginia, Williamsburg area. Basically, I got super political January 6, 2021, wonder why. And then used that momentum, gained a pretty decent following on TikTok, transferred over to Instagram, Twitter, because I refused to call it the other name, and ran for delegate in the state of Virginia last year, 71st District, lost by 667 votes to a two-time Republican caucus chair, and I will be running again next year in 2025.
You were this close to unseating somebody, so that is a big win. That is a big win. How's your experience been at the DNC so far? The energy on the ground is amazing. Right.
Absolutely. So I just got in this morning. I actually drove from Mass to Virginia last night and then hopped a plane this morning. But it's fantastic. I'm just so excited. I can't wait to hear Obama tonight. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving the positivity I've seen on TV at home, and now I get to experience it.
The President Obama speech will be legendary. I'm incredibly excited. Have you met some of your favorite creators here? Some of your favorite people as politicians?
I got to see Governor Whitmer this morning. I got to see Gloria Johnson, who will be taking out Blackburn later this year. I, of course, know Jolly Good Ginger and Polly, and so I've just kind of started seeing people now that I'm here. But yeah, I'm hoping to catch up with a lot of people that I've been following for a while or I've only seen once before in person.
Let's dig into politics. What issues are driving you this election cycle? What issues are most important to you?
I have 3 daughters. My oldest is a third-year college student, so obviously women's rights. We know Project 2025 wants to basically eliminate access to reproductive health care on every front. My daughter's also openly pansexual. My middle daughter's openly bisexual. So these are children that have laws that are going to be impacting them in so many different ways if the wrong people get power. So that is first and foremost. And just really creating an affordable life for people. It seems like the wealth gap is getting bigger and bigger. Economy is not working for everyday people, and I want to see it work for everyday people, and I think that's what Harrison Wells is going to do.
You're from West Virginia.
Virginia,
my bad.
No.
So let me ask you, what is at stake for women or women of color in West Virginia if Donald Trump gets back into office and does some sort of federal abortion ban?
So in Virginia right now, we have a Republican governor and a Democratic congressional or General Assembly. So it would be detrimental because over the year, my governor right now would be fully on board. He wanted an abortion ban, and we were the only stopgap by electing Democrats into the General Assembly, taking back the House, maintaining the Senate this past, because we have off-year elections. It's kind of weird. So we had our General Assembly elections last year. If we would have won those seats, he would have enacted a 15-week ban. Right now, we are the only sanctuary state of the South in Virginia where people are coming to get reproductive access for abortion care.
Amazing answer. And where can people find you online?
So I'm Jess Anderson for Virginia, and that is pretty much my username on all platforms, Threads, IG, Twitter, and TikTok.
Jess Anderson, is it the number 4? Number 4 for Virginia. It's weird how I remember your handles when I see your face, but thank you for chatting with us, and keep killing it. So nice to meet you. I'll see you around. All right, y'all. Let me chill out for 1 second and check my phone. What's up? I think I'm good. We might take a quick food break. Is there food in here? 3rd floor. Should we take a quick food break? We could do BRB and just go eat. You're good. Would any of you guys like to talk to MeidasTouch after? Would either of you guys like to talk to MeidasTouch after? What's going on over there? Really? That's amazing. The Creator Lounge has always had the best bit rate. I think they put some sort of... What's up?
We're on a different network.
Oh, interesting.
That's not a great shot either. Either sit out or walk out.
Sorry, guys. This has been a killer live stream so far today. Let me chill out for a minute, y'all. Let me chill out for a minute. Am I wearing my cool shoes? I don't think so. I think the Moskowitz interview is maybe one of the best we've gotten so far. That was amazing. That was fun. We're just going to chill out for a second, guys. We've been walking around all day. Everybody's fired up. Everybody's excited and ready. It has been an amazing stream so far. How has your guys' DNC experience been? Living it through this live stream. Have you guys enjoyed it? Have you guys noticed that we have found a way to minimize technical issues today? I feel like we've really found a way to minimize the technical issues. Let's get a review of the food. We can talk to you guys while we eat upstairs, honestly. Should we take them upstairs and go eat? Let's go. What's up? Yep, let's go. We're going to go upstairs, y'all. Make sure you subscribe to the stream if you're watching. Also, I have a new membership program available. Is this yours?
Yeah, that's ours.
Thank you. We're heading upstairs, y'all. We'll keep you guys live. Why not? the full unfiltered experience. Which way do we go? This way? Cool. Excuse me. Sorry. They have killer nachos upstairs, though. I hope they have those nachos again today. Which direction? Over here? This escalator? Here's Jordan Klepper. We're filming over there. Jordan Klepper.
Hey, what's up, Adam?
What's up? Walter Masterson, how you doing? I've wanted to meet you for a while. You want to do a quick interview? We're live.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been live streaming. Let's go over here. Excuse me. You know what's kind of funny? Can I set this down for a second? Never mind. You know what's funny? Between me, you, and Jordan Klepper standing right there, we've probably been to a combined 300 MAGA rallies.
Oh my, yeah, like there's so much overlap. We've seen Trump speak more than like most hardcore MAGA. Like when hardcore MAGA talks about how much, they try to tell me how much they've seen Trump speak, I'm like, I got you beat. Yeah, like don't even go there, bro.
And it rots my brain every time I hear him too.
I know.
So when did you land down in Chicago? When did you touch down?
I touched down yesterday, and yeah, yesterday I was a zombie. Today
How you liking the city?
I love Chicago. I've never been here before.
It's beautiful. I got to show you around, man. The skyline is beautiful. I live here, so we know all the spots to go. We can hit some bars.
Yes,
It'll be fun. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you enjoying your experience so far?
Yeah, no, it's like my first time. I'm really sad that I wasn't here yesterday to dunk on Charlie Kirk. He came here and just let everyone dog walk him.
Yep.
And then he posted his own L's, which is amazing. A shout out to the kid who just dog walked him. And then what's his name? And then like he got dog walked and he posted his own L. Amazing. Charlie, if you're here today, I'd love to, do a sexual act.
So let's break into what'd you say?
Do a sexual act.
Okay. So let's break into the mind of Walter Masterson. When you think about this upcoming election, what issues are at the top of your mind?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Issues at the top of my mind. Well, it's Palestine. It's reproductive rights. It's everything that's in Project 2025. Project 2025. Oh, my God. It's, there's crazy things in Project 2025 that, I've read it. There's one thing about Mexico's sovereignty. Mexico's sovereignty.
What about banning pornography and imprisoning anybody who distributes it or purveys it? What is pornography? What if you say that it's
Well, no, those are things well, we want to execute pedophiles.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, well, yeah, pedophiles, they're bad, but and then they can weaponize that to mean anything they want, basically.
But who defines what pornography is? Because what if it's what if it's Game of Thrones?
I was like, that's the thing. They get to define it, and they get to weaponize it against everyone else. And it's one of those things where, it's not going to have any definite... It's like the Don't Say Gay bill. It's like, they can just, it's whatever they want it to be at any moment, if they want to come after you.
And can you agree that VP Harris will be better than Donald Trump on Palestine, unequivocally?
Well, the thing is, I have spoken to MAGA about Palestine. And Trump, what does he say? He says, let Israel finish the job. He has said this, letting Israel finish the job. He wants to mow down and send in the military after student encampments. He's made that very clear.
He wants to deport people who he calls terrorists or Hamas sympathizers.
Yeah, I mean he has spoken this so many times. He calls as an insult. He calls people Palestinian as an insult.
See,
not Hamas. He's not like, oh yeah, you're Hamas. No, he calls them Palestinian.
How is that a slur? I have trouble wrapping my head around how you can call Chuck Schumer. He's a very bad Palestinian. It's just so absurd.
And then because Biden won't give Israel a 2,000-pound bomb to drop in an incredibly populated area.
You want to hear something interesting? So my dad is Muslim, and we argue all the time. And my dad's Muslim friends and I will get in arguments because they know I do this. The Muslim friends that I have, it's a big community, they all think Joe Biden is pro-genocide. But then you go to a Trump rally, and they all think Joe Biden is pro-Hamas. So it's maybe Joe...
Yeah, there's Kamala, the left calls her Kamala, and according to Republicans, she's going to let everyone out of prison.
A prison abolitionist.
Yeah, she's a prison abolitionist, defund the police. People get caught for crimes, and she's like, nah, right?
But also, she's a cop who locks everyone up in sight.
Yeah, it's kind of like their thing of the immigrants are coming over here and taking our jobs. Also, they're too lazy to work. Yeah.
I saw you make fun of the more right dates or whatever, right?
So date right stuff. John McKenty, he stole my idea. I came up with that idea first, okay? So basically, I told John McKenty about my dating app idea. I said, I have an idea for a dating app where you can meet your cousin. You can hook up with your cousin or your sister. And he stole that idea and made Date Right.
He stole it from you.
Yeah.
He also stole your ad, the way you do ads.
Yeah, he stole, I was like, I'm going to promote this dating app through, Vine videos using my uncle's Facebook memes. And he stole that marketing idea too.
True.
So, total thief, John.
Walter Masterson, where can people find you? They probably already know.
YouTube, Walter Masterson. TikTok, Walter Masterson. Instagram, Walter Masterson. Walter Masterson. Walterson. Yeah, Master Walterson. Yeah.
Let's chat again soon. Great meeting you. A hug. Stay right there for a second.
We just let us work. So we're going to try and do it. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Jordan Klepper getting swarmed. I'm trying to get him to... He's not for me.
You can stand here if you guys donate to the American Heart Association.
How much?
Whatever. I'm joking, 100%.
Oh.
No, I was joking.
There you go.
Look at that, donation.
No, you're good. No, it works.
Donation.
I want Americans to have healthy hearts.
Is there a way that people watching the stream at home can donate?
Yeah, how do people watching at home donate?
Oh, they go to an AT&T store.
Oh, really? Yeah. So we now own this whole booth to do our work from? Since we gave you... Well, that was what you just said, though.
No, that's not the case.
So we should have written a contract up first, probably. I'm just joking. See ya. MeidasTouch interview? MeidasTouch interview?
No, I'm doing interviews.
Excuse me. We tried to get Jordan Klepper again. What? Okay.
That might be weird.
Should we go eat first? Y'all, we are going to go eat, then we're going to go hit the blue carpet and do some more interviews. How's everybody doing? Sorry. Jordan Klepper said no, he's doing interviews for his work. Jordan Klepper was super nice about it. One of his aides was a little bit, said no, get away. Sorry, not you.
Go around, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Oh, thank you, ma'am, I'm sorry. On the way to the Creators Lounge, where we can have the same nachos we had yesterday, hopefully. Was it that way?
Yeah, it's 309.
And then we have 25 minutes until we hit the blue carpet. Once we hit the blue carpet, we're going to knock out some interviews. Someone said, please. Here we go. onto the Creators Lounge where hopefully it's not too packed and we can sit down and eat.
Hey, how's our bitrate?
Oh yeah, doesn't it drop up here? Yo, actually, we'll be back for the blue carpet in about suggested. We're almost here, guys. Back to the blue carpet so we can do some interviews in about 3 minutes. Head in there right now. How have you guys felt about the interviews so far today? We've got some good stuff, right? Almost to the blue carpet, y'all.
Face the camera forward. Sorry, I don't want to be on camera.
The RNC could never be this packed, y'all.
Oh, grab one of her fries.
What?
Some fries.
I should have grabbed it, I know. You guys are turning me into a menace out here. Trying to get me in trouble. Heading back to the blue carpet, y'all. Make sure you spam some blue hearts to get the stream rolling again. You know, I realized we were passing Harry Dunn, the officer from January 6th. And in my mind, I was thinking, I know that man. It was at the tip of my tongue. We have a slot in 1 minute.
Let's check in with them so they know you're there.
MeidasTouch has a slot in 1 minute.
Yep. Got you guys.
Thank you. Can we slip through here?
Yeah.
Thank you for the help, guys.
I fixed my mic, I think.
Oh, you got it? Do you want to do an interview with us? Remember yesterday when we found out I was interviewing you?
Look, it was a mess.
We gotta find that would be a viral clip. Why don't we find that? That was a really funny moment. It was live.
Y'all cutting up? Because Colin just showed up out of nowhere and they already understand.
Adam, welcome back.
What's up? Can we sneak around here and get a spot?
Give us 1 second. We're just trying to make space for you guys.
We're going to close out the last couple of interviews and then we'll wrap them up.
No rush.
Rotate us.
No rush. Thanks for the help.
Of course. Thank you guys.
We're waiting for the blue carpet. Over there, show some behind the scenes of the Good Liars. No rush. I just ran off. You're going on a time loop. You want to do a quick chat on screen? Let's do it real quick. Okay. What's up? It's fine. We are currently live, about to enter the blue carpet. We're surrounded by... What's up, man?
So how you doing?
What's up? You want to talk to us?
Find that film for me.
You're down to talk to us?
I'm down to talk to you.
You were pulling my leg. You were joking around when you were saying you weren't down. Introduce yourself to the stream.
My name is Political Sis. Hello, everyone.
You are killing it, Political Sis. How are you enjoying the DNC 2024?
I'm enjoying it. It's a little stressful, but we're having a good time.
Incredibly stressful. We were stressed in the days leading up. This morning, you helped us get our credentials. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The only reason you're seeing this stream is because of Politics Sis, is because of cameraman Nate, is because of Ben, our escort, and because of my uncle Tristan, and because of Nick, who provided this equipment, and the people at IRL Toolkit. Sorry, that was a lot of shout outs right there. And my mom, my dad. Dad, the Academy.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Yeah. So, what issues are most important to you as we head into this election?
The most important issues to me would be within my community, the black community, getting people registered to vote. I feel that that's a problem. I know that Kamala is doing her work, but the problem is when it comes to voting down tickets, that is a big problem, and I really want us to work on that.
Absolutely. And what would your message be to black Americans who may be disillusioned with our institutions? Because I have friends who say they are overwhelmingly liberal, but they say both sides are the same. What would be your message?
I would say educate yourself on the facts, educate yourself on how the government works, how politics works, and get involved.
Absolutely. Finally, what threat do you think Project 2025 poses to black Americans or Americans in general?
So, women, we could start off with women.
Let's start off with that. Sorry.
Women, our reproductive rights will be no more. If you are pregnant, regardless if you're white, black, rich, or poor, and you have a problem with your baby and you go to the hospital or the emergency room, they will turn you away and you can possibly die. So birth control would be no more. We don't use birth control just to keep us from getting pregnant. Some people use birth control for other methods as well. So when it comes to the black community and all, let's talk about small businesses. So that will be no more. Black people will be discriminated against when it comes to their businesses. We will not be able to work in maybe government. We won't be a government employee anymore. So yeah.
Absolutely. And Republicans' views are also contradictory because in one breath they say they want to ban contraception, ban sex ed, but then they also want to ban abortion. So how are you going to ban the preventative measures, but then also ban the thing that allows people to not be a single parent household, right? And keep going.
So what I think, it's not about abortion when it comes to Republicans. It's not about caring about, it's about abortions, but they don't care about babies.
About control?
Because it's all about control and it's all about power. Because if it was about babies, if it was truly about babies, then after these babies are born, you would feed them. You wouldn't be taking free lunch away from them, right? You would have health care for these kids. You would have programs for them to go to Head Start and things like that. Everything I just mentioned, they are trying to take away.
Absolutely. Where can people find you? Shout yourself out.
Political Sis on TikTok, Political Sis on Instagram and X.
Political Sis. Thanks for chatting with us, and we'll chat again soon. I always enjoy seeing you here.
How was it?
That was amazing. We're still live, but that was great. We're about to head onto the blue carpet. We just needed to do a quick interview.
Y'all missed some good people.
Oh, really?
I was here.
Who came?
Window. Was she here or is? Because the only one I know is Window and her. I don't know anyone else.
Yeah.
We had some actors, but I think I saw her, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
Wendell Pierce. Oh, Bob Casey.
He wasn't here.
Oh, he's not.
He might still be.
Yeah, true.
After y'all edited,
it's live right now, so
it's my first time.
You did amazing. All of your answers were perfect. They were on point. Yeah.
We was live?
You was live.
I was sweating.
You're good. You did great. You went. Also, I really like your earrings. Oh my god, those are great.
All my earrings are.
Those are great.
Did you see the ones I had on earlier?
No, I didn't.
It was pink and said chocolate. You know, we were trying to get y'all.
You changed earrings between.
Oh yeah, my outfit.
Oh wow, you're serious about this.
We're gonna try to grab space.
We're gonna hop on the floor. Thank you so much. We finally hit the blue carpet for the 2024 DNC. How is everybody doing? We're waiting for some surrogates, for some politicians to come through. Everybody is mad at me because apparently my back shirt is untucked. So let me fix that for you guys. I checked chat a second ago and everyone said shirt untucked, shirt untucked. Let me see how you guys are doing here in chat while we wait for these politicians to roll through. How's the stream doing? Everybody spam in chat how you're feeling. Feeling good, feeling good. Political Sis is the best. Oh yeah, Right Plight. Thanks for dropping these links whenever we shout someone out. That's actually really, really smart. Just subscribe to Political Sis. Let's go. Very cute. She's adorable. She is, for sure. She knew we were talking after. Superstar.
Gorgeous. Amazing. Brenna, I want to help you with creators. We have Congresswoman Lori Trahan who's going to come talk to you next. She's right here in this white dress.
Lori Trahan.
Lori Trahan from Massachusetts.
We have politicians coming in 1 second. You're good, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Hi, we have Representative Lori Trahan here. She'll be up next for you.
We have got some politicians rolling through. How is chat doing? Some great clips coming from today. Cool. From chat, how many steps have you taken today? Everyone in chat, guess. I want to see you guys guess, then I'll tell you. Let's turn it into a game. Not as many as you guys think, honestly. Not as many as you think. Take a guess, take a guess. Go lower than your instincts tell you. We have not seen AOC. Blue hearts, blue hearts. How many steps? Find Charlie Kirk. Somebody said 12,000. Unbutton your top button, please. I could unbutton it, I guess. Doesn't make a difference, does it? People are saying 7K, 9K, 3K. You guys are close. 10 steps. It's above 10. It's below 100,000. 90 steps. 3,000. 40K. Nowhere near 40K. Someone says 7,000. 7,000 is close. Right now it's about 8,500 for the day. Obama, in a few hours, will be taking the stage. First, let's do some surrogate interviews. They're walking down. Basically, you want to hop on stream for one more second just to fill time? Yeah, hop on. You're killing it. You're killing it. Right now, I'm on the blue carpet with the camera. Right now, I am on the blue carpet with Politics Sis. We're waiting for politicians and surrogates to come through. We've been live streaming this entire event, so what you need to understand is that all of the awkward moments, all of the amazing moments, everything is all caught on camera. Yesterday, I went to go shake someone's hand, and then they went for a fist bump, and we both it was caught on camera, and my high school bully hit me up and said, no one actually hit me up. That's not a real thing. But I want to ask you.
Well, we have a good time. We're serious. We play. Then we get serious again. We cry. Like, I don't know about y'all, but last night I cried when Joe Biden came out, right? And he was hugging Ashley, and I was just like, damn.
It was really good.
It was good.
Even cameraman Nate was telling me, wow, President Biden absolutely killed it.
Did you cry? Did he cry?
He was bawling his eyes out. Cameraman Nate's really sensitive. People don't know that about him. He's a big guy.
I know Nate, but he's so sweet.
He's so sweet and sensitive. He's apolitical, but no, on a real note, largely apolitical. Today we were talking, we were saying, that was a good speech. It was a decent speech. I think President Biden had the energy that he needed. I think that it was a good exit from his 50 years. No, it was the beginning of the end, it feels like, of his 50-year service in American politics. What was your takeaway?
My take was the fact of how much he's done for all communities, but he's done more. That's the president. He has done more for my community than any other president. And when you're talking about small businesses, when you're talking about abortion rights, when you're talking about cleaning lead pipes, removing lead pipes, insulin, sickle cell research, that's what I look at.
Make sure you guys tell Politics Sis that she is killing it right now. The Midas Mighty. Tell Politics Sis that she is killing it. Let me ask you.
Okay.
you said that reproductive rights and fighting for women of color, those are some of the most important issues to you, correct?
Yes.
What is at stake for women all across America? Tell the Midas Mighty on MeidasTouch, what is at stake for women across America?
When it comes to our reproductive rights, our life. That's it, our life. Because our life depends on voting. If we don't get out and vote, more and more women will die. That's what at stake. I said abortion, when it comes to abortion, like when you're going to the emergency room, when you have sepsis, anything like that, they're turning you away. Look, if you have an abortion because of them, you can not have a baby again. You can severely hurt yourself. I mean, so many things can happen, and you can die, but people are already dying.
And why are MAGA Republicans, why is Donald Trump attacking VP Harris on her identity and her race rather than going after policy? I want to hear what you think about that.
We know he's racist.
Oh, yeah.
But he does not like to see a black woman who's more smarter than him, who's more intelligent than him. That's what it is. And I'm scared. I don't know about y'all when the debate starts. I'm a little nervous about that because either he's going to say a bad word or he may do something crazy. Yeah. But what I do know is that she's not Hillary Clinton. He's not going to be able to walk behind her like he did Hillary Clinton. And there's no disrespect to Hillary. I love her.
Kamala takes no BS. We were talking about this earlier, but Donald Trump successfully put Hillary Clinton on her back foot throughout the entire campaign. Hillary Clinton was always on the defense. I didn't do this. This is false. This is not true. Kamala Harris is not letting anything get to her. Everything bounces off her. She doesn't even react. And that is, to build on your point, Kamala Harris is not Hillary Clinton. She is not reacting. She's not biting, which is amazing.
Look, Kamala is a prime example of black women in the workforce or in the political arena, how we deal with things. We have tough skin. And sometimes we lose our friends, we lose our family, and we lose our jobs because of being hated. And for her, she's a woman, she's black, right? And she's Indian. Those three things alone, it makes her tough.
Yep. Thank you for talking to us, Politics Sis. Again, in 5 minutes, we're going to be like, hey, let's hop on for one more segment. So we are live on the blue carpet right now. We have politicians and surrogates about to walk past, about to be doing some amazing interviews. Make sure you guys are supporting MeidasTouch. Make sure you guys are looking up at we're close to 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. I would love if we could hit 400,000 subscribers soon. Give us 1 second. Shout out to everybody that's been helping. Shout out to the Mycelis brothers. Shout out to cameraman Nate, cameraman Ben. Everybody's killing it. Everybody's killing it. Representative Lori Trahan coming up next. Absolutely amazing atmosphere at the 2024 DNC. So multiple times we have walked past massive celebrities, massive politicians. We talked to Jared Moskowitz. We just talked to Jordan Klepper back to back. It has been a wild experience. Sorry, 1 second. We're lining up this next interview for the blue carpet, and then things will be off. We've got some really cool people about to walk past that we're about to have some conversations with. Okay, we're basically here. We're basically ready, my bad. Give me 1 second. Political Sis is killing it. Welcome to the stream. We are currently live on MeidasTouch. Can you introduce yourself to everybody watching?
Hi, everybody. My name is Gina Raimondo. I used to be the governor of the great state of Rhode Island.
We are here with the Honorable Gina Raimondo. How are you doing today?
I am awesome. The energy is real. It's terrific.
It is amazing. The energy on the floor at the DNC is not like any event I've ever been to. The RNC was definitely not like this. But I want to ask you, what issues are you focused on heading into this election?
The economy, reproductive rights. I've got a daughter who's 20 years old. I believe women can be trusted to make their own healthcare decisions. I'm so worried about Donald Trump. He's going to... and Harris have done a great job building up the economy, and if Trump's elected, he'll take us back. Are chaotic, so I care a lot about those issues.
So can I ask you, what's at stake for people like your daughter, young women, if Donald Trump gets back into office? What does the future hold? Because I'm 21 years old, right? So I'm worried that if Donald Trump gets back into office, we may not have institutions to take over someday. So can you explain to people, what is at stake for young people like us?
Everything's at stake. Do you want to be able to afford your rent? Because if he's elected, you probably can't. Do you want to be able to get a good job and not have tons of debt? That's at stake. Do you want to be able to go to the doctor and get the health care that you deserve, especially if you're a woman? That's hugely at stake. I mean, just your basic institutions, your way of life, your freedom, it's all on the line.
And when it comes to the economy, can I just point out that VP Harris has laid out actionable steps to fix the economy for people like me. She just released a plan to build 3 million new homes and incentivize home builders to do it for first-time homeowners, correct?
Donald Trump is peddling economic BS. It does not work. He is full of baloney.
It doesn't work to tariff China out the
wazoo? It doesn't work. These are his ideas. He wants to put a 10 to 20% tariff on everything. That's like a new 20% sales tax on everything. That's terrible. He wants to give a tax cut to the rich and hope it trickles down to everyone else. That doesn't work. When he was in office, we lost jobs and he exploded the deficit. It's like magic beans. Everyone knows it doesn't work. My 20-year-old kid can see through it. Americans will see through it.
So, how have you felt about Project 2025? Have you read up on it? And what is at stake for people in America if it's passed?
I have read up on it. It's really scary. It is like downright scary. Takes away our rights, destroys and dismantles our government, wants to get into the business of making our healthcare decisions and our most private decisions. It's really anti-America. It's anti-democracy, anti-courts, anti-America.
The scariest part is that Donald Trump has already tried to do the Schedule F executive order his first term, and that Schedule F executive order said that he could appoint tens of thousands of loyalists in the government. So if Donald Trump gets back into office, he won't make the mistake of having Mike Pence. He'll have J.D. Vance, which is also a mistake. So what do you think about Republicans attacking Kamala Harris on her identity, her race, her sex, rather than policy?
It's racist, it's sexist, it's wrong-headed, and if that's all they have, then we're going to win.
Absolutely. Thank you. Where can people find you?
People can find me at Gina Raimondo.
She knew it. She was just testing her aid to make sure.
Yeah, well, there's all these Hatch Act rules. I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay.
So you can find me at Gina Raimondo.
Great chatting with you, and have a great rest of the convention. One interview knocked out. We have more coming up. Amazing people walking past. How did everybody feel about that one? Solid? Let's see how chat feels real quick while we're waiting. 3,000. Excellent questions. I appreciate that. A lot of it's on the spot. Oh my, Right Plate, you are so good. Right Plate, that is amazing. Every time we're talking to somebody, we have Right Plate in the chat linking their links, which I think adds an extra layer of professionalism to the chat. Also, if you guys want to be able to talk in chat, hit that subscribe button, become a member. That's all I ask.
They all want you to understand that they meant this button.
Oh. Yo, I'm not unbuttoning the top button. Should I unbutton? Why would I do that? Do it?
Yeah. Or put a tile.
It's too much?
Yeah.
Hold this. Watch the next the next politician's going to come up and be like, I'm not talking to this kid with his top button unbuttoned. I don't think it looks that odd. We're back. If Obama's mad at me because my top button's not buttoned, it is your guys' fault. It was Nate.
Bow tie if Adam keeps that button.
I'm not wearing a bow tie, y'all. We're not going Tucker Carlson. Do it. Do it. Live streaming at the DNC, doing some fashion advice. It's kind of hilarious.
Escort Ben is getting some love.
People love Ben. Does Escort Ben sound weird, though? Yeah. We're calling him Cameraman Ben. Escort Ben, as I was saying it, I was like, something about that's not right. Now it looks better. This is why it's great to have a community full of like-minded individuals, because you guys can give me fashion advice, fashion tips, tell me to unbutton my top button. Thank you, guys. What's up? I'm going to start asking politicians if I should unbutton my... Ask me my first question. Top button unbuttoned, or...?
Yeah, that button is if you're not unbuttoned.
How does it look, y'all? Let's see what chat's saying. Looks better. Looks better. Let's go. Security Ben. Bodyguard Ben. What about that? Bodyguard Ben. That's a good one. They want me to take it off. Damn it, guys. No, could you imagine? We're close. We got one more politician just chilling on the blue carpet at the 2024 DNC. Cameraman Nate is cracking up at your guys' chats behind the camera. I don't know what he's laughing at. More eyeliner? You guys want me to turn into JD Vance? Ascot Adam. We lost feet?
Yeah, so it's going to go down there. He'll be back. We must have gotten censored for our message.
We're back. Sorry, guys. We cut out for 1 second. I didn't mean to have that minute of not saying anything. To us. Sis is having a great conversation next to us. President Obama comes back. Give me 1 second. The energy has been all good. I saw you pop out. Yeah. Let's go, guys. Blue carpet right now. Excuse me, sir. The blue carpet was set up and ready, but no one was really walking through. So we're gonna keep walking around, do a few more laps, then we're gonna watch President Obama give a speech. That is going to be historic, and I'm excited. Leave a like on the stream, everybody. Can we get the stream to 10,000? On the grass, maybe? No, I can't. It's on the grass. Yeah. Maybe just sit here in this curb if you want to sit like a few feet away. It'd be nice to get some fresh air. You can just like sit right here and wait on me. We are currently outside of the DNC. I don't think we've showed you guys outside yet. How does that look behind me? Let's scroll through some Twitter. Wow. Wow, there are protesters outside the DNC. Matt Walsh is in disguise on the convention floor. Oh, wow. Matt Walsh is here, apparently. Matt Walsh in disguise. Sean Astin is walking around. What the hell? Mike Lindell just offered pillows to pro-Palestinian protesters. We should go find Mike Lindell out there. Should we find Mike Lindell? Why are we outside? Because we're just chilling. How far away is the protester barrier? I don't know. We can walk around and try to see the protesters. Apparently Mike Lindell is out there trying to give them pillows. Oh, we're just chilling.
Taking a quick break.
Governor Shapiro is just inside. And Mayor Lightfoot. All right, y'all, I think we might wrap up day 2 of the DNC stream. We've done like 4 laps. We've walked around a lot. We're starting to get pretty tired, and the camera battery is getting exhausted. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll go live maybe